Good evening, everyone from Coventry. This is the final table of the APAT Open Championship. Of course, this event has taken place as part of the Goliath Festival, the Grosvenor up there. Leigh, your table side, we're about to see our final nine flow in to take their seats. How has the weekend gone, my friend?
It's been pretty manic, Des, here in Coventry. Well, for anyone that's been to the Goliath all week, they know it's been like. They've smashed all their numbers. We did as much as we could last night. It was absolutely crazy. We had so many people on the alternates list. It was just ridiculous. We ended up with 460 runners, which is absolutely superb. Managed to rattle them through last night. We brought 68 back for day two, all in the money. And that's played down to where we are now with the 9 players you can see on the left of the screen. They're just having their photo taken before we start this final table. We've had to move. So if anyone that was watching this in the main arena area, they're playing at the final of the Goliath there. I think they're down to maybe 3 and they've got some other things going on. They're having to move players out there now for the Sunday night because that has to all be cleared through, ready for tomorrow morning, whatever else is going on there tomorrow morning. So we've moved into the sports bar. So we're literally in 10, 15 minutes, I've moved all of our gear and everything in here. They're just setting up for the final table. Tom's doing his professional photography effort, as you can see there. He is available for weddings, and any other things.
Not recommended. Can't recommend them, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it enough. But anyway, so we've got a 9. We'll rattle through who we've got. You'll see a couple of faces there that you'll recognize. One in particular, which we'll give a quick shout out to, is Dave Garden, who is, of course, an APAT world champion.
Yes, he is.
Won our world championship before. He's made this final table and got through, which is super impressive for him. Also, you'll recognize a player that's played our team event on a regular basis for playing for Cracked Kings, a player called Steve Johnson. He has been up and down like a yo-yo this final table. Last night he had 1.4 million, and then he lost half of them, and then a bit more, and he was down to 500,000, and then he was back up to 2.2 million. He was our chip leader going into this day two with 1.7 million in chips. So he's made the final table. So chip leader from day two, 68 runners, has made the final table. They're all sat down now. Tom is busy tapping to my left-hand side, getting chip counts in and player names in so we can give a proper announcement on the stream of who we've got there. Because we've got a lot of new faces, which is often the way when we're attached to one of these bigger festivals. So it is a lot of the way. So if you're in Coventry and it's come up on Facebook and you're like, oh, they've gone live. Yeah, we're in the sports bar if you want to come and rail. We've got Dan, our TD, who's ready to go. Superbly, I've been managing everything for us all day. But it's been crazy here. Goliath has smashed the record. They had a turbo event on this afternoon, guys, that it's got £8,000 first place money, and it's like £150 buy-in, and they got hundreds of runners in that. The seniors event was capped at 200, and they've got the alternates in that. There are APATers in the seniors event. Now, there's one particular APATer, Des. I don't know how she got in.
Senior League,
because it's a seniors event.
Who's that then?
Michelle Gascoigne.
No, she's never a senior, Leigh.
They must have. Did they not? I said I want to see her ID. I'm not, but I couldn't believe for 1 second that actually she should be allowed in it. But they let her in.
Wow, Nellie's barely a senior, Leigh. She's still schooling the youngsters in our league.
So they decided we'll let her in and we'll see what happens. So that's what they've done. Wow. So Tom Bacon's on the rail here. He's been playing catch all weekend. So Tom Bacon has been on the show. He's just come over and given me a wave wearing his very nice Goliath hoodie. Still available, I think, online if you want to pick up one of those. But yeah, he's had a cracking time playing catch this week. Again, had to grab his table and then hold his table, Des. That's how it's worked. So yeah. So he literally, and then he goes off for something to eat, and then if he's not back within 45 minutes, they go in and find him. Saying, if you don't come back, we're going to kneecap you and take your cash. I mean, it's been absolute nonsense.
It's like an Italian wedding up there. It's like a 7-day Italian wedding. What's not to like?
Exactly, absolutely. So where we're at, Des, we are at level 26. So now they finally put a clock up for us in here, so I can tell you what's going on. So we're at level 26. Yeah. We've got about 3-4 minutes left of level 26, which is blind at 60,000 and 120,000 with a big blind ante of 120,000. We've got average chips of just over 5 million chips. So, we've got a decent bit of play in this final table. We lost a couple quite quickly going to this final table. We were sort of 12 players for quite a long time, but we've now got down to the 9. So they're actually starting this final table with about sort of 40 bigs, something like that. So a fair bit of play in it. Prize money wise, they're now guaranteed £1,000. So final table guaranteed £1,000. Up top, 2,850 for bronze medal position, 4,500 for silver, and there's 7,500 up top for gold medal. And of course, the title of APAT Open Champion for 2023. So absolutely superb. So I'll give you a rundown who we've got, because I've got some chip counts and some names here. So if you want to bring up the main table, Des, we'll give a better view of what we've got there, and you can see, and I can just talk through who we've got. So in seat one, as I mentioned before, Dave Garden is in seat one. He's got 3.2 million in chips. He's bottom right of your screen. Then at the bottom of your screen, with his head is back to us, unfortunately. I'm sure that's not his good side. I'm sure he's got a better side than that. He's Ryan Robbins. Ryan's got 1.7 million. To Ryan's left in seat three is our second in chips, which is Robert Gray with 8.2 million. Fourth in chips is Patrick Hudson with 6.1 million. Then Steve Johnson, who I mentioned earlier, Crack Kings, right in a bang slap in the middle of the table where he likes to be. He had his table singing happy birthday to somebody yesterday and made them all fold through so that the guy whose birthday would keep his big blind. I mean, that's the type of thing we're talking about here.
He's got moves.
5.4 million for Steve. To Steve's left in seat six is David Wise. He's got 5.6 million. David Brady is the short stack along with Ryan Robbins on this table, 1.7 million. In seat eight is Gerard Bennett. He's our chip leader, 10 million chips in his stack. And then finally, seat nine is Glenn Davidge with 4 million. So they're just starting, so they're getting going. Hopefully, you'll have that information across to you any second day, so you've got it as well.
Yeah, we're just running that across the bottom of the table, bottom of your screen at the moment.
Yeah, brilliant, and we'll be good to go. So play's underway. As I say, we're going to try and get into the action as quick as we can. We've just got to get used to this new setup because so we've literally just jumped across here very quickly. So bear with us. There's an all in the call straight away. Wow. I'm going to have to get over there and see what it is. So bear with me 1 second. So A7 has run into Ace King, and it is the A7 that I'm guessing is at risk here. We'll find out now. Yes, it is the A7 at risk. And it's an ace on the flop, 6 and a 4. 5 on the turn brings options for the 7 as well. Up and down straight draw now. It's a 3 on the river, which means the A7 river does a runner for a straight.
Wow.
And we're going to get a count on that and see how much he's got. That was the player in seat 7. Who's got
David Brady of the Brady clan.
I'm going to quickly scribble down some names on my pad, so I've got that as well, and then we'll be away to go. So Tom just passed that back to me so I can quickly do that. So bear with me whilst I quickly write this down, then I'll grab the handheld and we can get in on the table and see some of the cards as they're going on, and we'll be good to go.
Bear with us here for a couple of minutes, guys, just as we get everything up to speed. As Leigh quite rightly said, the entire table moved across rooms a few minutes ago, so we're a little behind, but catching up quickly, I would say. So player names are showing on your screen as we speak. They're scrolling across there. Leigh will be just noting those also and getting his handheld camera in operation, so we'll be able to look at flops. Do us a favor, please. Like the stream and share it out. And, if you know any of these players, just add their Facebook name, a link in your sharing of the post. And that will just help us to increase the audience for the next couple of hours. It should be fun.
Should be. So what I should say is, so it was David Brady you mentioned that had 1.7 million to start with. He doubled through. It was Gerard Bennett, the chip leader, with 10 million. So basically, it was a full double up for David Brady in that particular hand. So nice start for him. Obviously, not what he wanted to see. Ace-7 against Ace King. Not what you want to see when you've got your chips in the middle there against the chip leader. But what a way to actually get a double up. And hey, that might give them the momentum to actually to go further in this tournament now. Cheers, Tom. Right. I now have a list of players in my hand, and we will be we'll get up and see what we can see as we go here. Right then, so let's go and have a wander. So yeah, just to give you a quick idea of where we are. I'll show you. Where we're actually sat now. I can show you a bit of a bigger picture. So we're in the
Superb.
sports bar here. So yeah, huge, great big sports with two big screens either side. They've been playing cash in here all week. So there's our clock. So that's what we've got on the go. And you can see that's prize money on the right hand side there. 7,500, 7.5 bags as we call it.
Lovely.
This season.
Very
yeah.
nice.
And back round we go, and this is us. And obviously the casino is to the left hand side. Try not to show that because obviously the players playing there, and it's not really kind of the right thing to do to be showing that as we go. So I'll wander back around here so I can get in behind the dealer to catch any flops, and we'll be away to go.
Fantastic.
So still got 9 players, and we're up and running.
Absolutely superb. Leigh, every single banner that we've ever printed, have you got them behind those tables? What's going on there?
We're one missing because there's one that Tom's got at home that he has in his bedroom that he puts up in his room. So there's one banner that's in Tom's house. He just couldn't part with it for the weekend. So yeah, but other than that, we've got every single other one here. I decided not to put the media board up because we just thought it might be a little bit easier to go with the banners, and actually I think it looks pretty impressive actually. So very nice and pleased. So we're going to see a flop here, and it's our chip leader in the hand with David Wise in seat 6. So the board has come down now 4 king 9.
Fucking hell.
And, it's a bet out from our chip leader. From Gerard. Decision on David Wise. There he is to the left of Steve. He's going to fold that on 3. Got a bit of a. Going to have to get used to the chips. So we've had to say they've got so many chip stacks in play here. We've had to be playing with them. So the blue chips are 25k chips. The orange ones are 100,000. The blacks are 500,000, and the greens are 50,000. So say a lot going on. Greens are 5,000. I apologize, not 5,000. Greens are 5,000. We got the rest of that, Steve. We're all good. We got the rest of that. We're all good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. The most important thing is the players know what they're worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is the most important thing. So again, should always point out to anyone that's new to APAT and has not watched one of our streams before, we are right next to the players here on this final table. They can very clearly hear everything I say, as you will have just heard when I incorrectly said the greens are 50,000, not 5,000. And they will call me out on it. You can rest assured they are paying attention to everything that I say. So when it comes to our hands going on, bear in mind, I will be very careful about what I say at the table. I don't want to affect anything that the players are doing in the way of decision they're making or action to come. So if sometimes you're thinking, oh, it's gone quiet, or why is he not saying, exactly what's going on? We're very wary. We are right next to the players. What you're watching is pretty much what's happening right here in Coventry now, bar probably about a 20-second delay for it to go up via the Duffy satellite and back down again out of orbit.
Quite right. Listen, talking about orbit, Leigh, you promised me the tower. Can't you get the big man away from the final table of the other thing that's going on?
He is currently on the final table. I'm hoping that he'll get over it. But I pretty much hijacked their stream yesterday. You know me, not one to miss an opportunity.
Did you put our banners around their table or what?
Popped in to say hi, knowing very well that would get me on the stream. So we did a little bit of a push out for what we were doing here, and obviously our World Championship coming up at the end of the month. And also, to be fair to Phil, to the tower, he was like, "Oh, well, make sure you let me know the schedule if I can talk about it on the stream as well." So so that's all good.
Good man.
Yeah. So, but they're in the back in the arena, tucked away in an office out the back. The guys working super hard on the stream. They've had great numbers on their stream all week.
Well, let me tell you, Leigh.
And we've got an all in the call. All in the call. It's pocket jacks, and it's going to be for it's already doubled up. It's going to be David Brady again with the jacks, and it's queens this time for Robert Gray. So Robert was second in chips going to this. Jacks versus queens. Jacks at risk. 5 deuce 8 with hearts. No help whatsoever. It's going to need to be a jack and only a jack. And it's not going to be, and it's going to end up being queen high, and we're going to eventually lose. David Brady. So we doubled up through our chip leader to start with, came up against the second in chips and not to be. And he's going to bust out in ninth place. Very well done to him. We'll sort out payouts for him. We'll get that done now, and we'll organise that for it. And we're down to 8 very quickly there, Des.
Wow.
But that's hands colliding, isn't it? Queens versus Jack. So he got a good double up first time round. Ace 7 versus Ace King, and unfortunately,
well,
not to be this time.
He had a supporter base out there, Tri-Town on YouTube, and we have Banani, Let's Go Davey. Who else do we have out there as well? We've got Simon Lawler. Evening, guys. Evening to you, Simon. Scott Wayne is out there. Good luck to everybody. Rich Baker.
Scott ran pretty deep in this, actually. Had a good run into day 2, so very well done. Of course, everyone that's in the money in day 2. So anyone that's made bagged up chips last night, and there was quite a few notables that did. Di Farrell made it through to day 2. One Natalie Bromley, she got down to the final 3 tables.
24th, right?
So very good run from her as well. We lost a couple of the LP. We lost Dave Kingswell, one of our champions, who's won the Irish event previously, and
went deep. Another big run, Leigh.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kim Callow as well. They bust pretty much back to back, the two of them actually. So. But decent run to both of them. So but lots of APAT regs that ran deep. Rich Baker had another good run. Obviously, the champion from earlier on this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely superb to see it. But bunch of you out there in the chat box. Peter King's out there as well. Go on, Glenn 10. Quite right. Mark Tierney's out there. Come on, Dave. We've got Jim James. Come on, Who's Lee? That's a test for you as I go through the others.
Could it be Ryan, maybe?
It could be Ryan. It could be Ryan. Jim says you're going to take this tourney down. Barry Simpson is out there as well. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Barry. Phil, happy as Gilby. Phil Gilby. Good luck, Garden. There you go. Dave Garden's going to get huge. He's going to get huge support
he's supporting. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What year did Dave win it from?
Crikey, I want to say, 2012, 13, maybe? 13, 14? Something like that.
Feels later. I think it was Dusk Till Dawn. I think it was earlier than that. I think it was 8 or 9 maybe.
George Wilkinson's out there. Go on, Dave, lad.
11. Was it 11? Oh,
11. There you go.
Well, I mean, Dave says it was 2011, but what does he know? I mean, what does he know, really? I mean, So he's hearing us talking. So he just puts us right, quite rightly. It was 2011. The funny thing is, I actually only wrote them all down the other day because I'm putting a little bit together for the Worlds coming up, and actually put all of our champions together. It's a right cracking list of world champions in APAT. Yeah, it really is.
Hussein Suki's out there. Come on, Dave G, bring it home, lad. Mitchell Griffith, come on, the Gardenator. So as we expected, Dave Garden getting a lot of support on the rail. The Gardenator, indeed. Yeah,
that's made Dave reach to his phone to see whether Gardenator.com is available. So we've got a board here of Queen 5, 8, and we've seen a raise from Patrick Hudson in seat 4. He's made it 400k to go. Other player in the hand is our chip leader from the off, Gerard Bennett, over the far end, who's going to re-raise it up to 1.2 million. Decision back on Patrick, and he's going to let that go. And so Gerard is going to add 2 chips. We do have players kind of milling around here a little bit. So I think any person that's under kind of about sort of 5 foot probably can walk under the other camera. If not, they probably will just walk straight through it. So just bear that in mind.
Jason Mersch, come on, Glenn, let's go.
So quick dealer change. We'll be off again.
Leigh, I don't know if you knew this, but Carl's out there, the captain. If Dave finishes in the top 3, he goes back to all-time leading money winner in APAT. Added
Who's saying
incentive.
that? Who said so? Who's that coming from? Carl. Wow.
Carl, the captain pilgrim.
Should I be letting Dave know this, or is it best for him not to know it? Probably best for him not to know it.
I don't think he needs to know.
Yeah, he doesn't want that sort of pressure, does he? Doesn't want that sort of pressure. Yeah, definitely not. So I've got a bit of a rail here. Mark Lasman's on the rail. Pair of Cushing's on the rail. Paul Haycock is on the rail. Paul just cashed in the turbo earlier on today. So they're on the rail at the moment. See if I can get over there and you can see. There you go. Busy chatting about poker and all other nonsense. So yeah, so they're still about keeping an eye on what's going on. So all in seat 2, Ryan Robbins, and it's going to fold all the way around to I think it was the original Razor, which would have been David Wise in seat 6. He's asked for a count, so we're going to get the count now. $1.3 million, I think, was the total. So decision for David Wise. David started this final table with 5.6 million, Dead.
Makes a call, I think. Did I hear that rightly?
Yeah, chips are in the middle. He's made the call. So it's pocket queens for Ryan, and it is ace 5 for David. So it's the queens that are at risk. Ace 5 3. What a flop. King on the turn. So it's going to need to be a queen, and it's not there, and we're going to lose Ryan in 8th place. Very well done to him. Very well played to Ryan. Well, there you go. That's Ryan, who we only saw the back of his head because of where he was sat, unfortunately, but in the white t-shirt there. Yeah, and very good to him. And very quickly, we're down to 7 players. So Ryan picks up £1,150 for an 8th place finish, which means the guys have all now locked up £1,300 for the 7 that remain. For anyone just joining in and missed the top 3 prizes, so it's $4,250 for third. Sorry, $2,850 for third, $4,500 for second, and $7,500 up top. And of course, APAT medals for the top 3. Tom's just getting some photos of the players sat at the table, and of course the rail are also snapping photos as well. If you catch him, you might type his password into that. Oh no, he's gone already. So unlucky. Yeah, we'll catch him next time, Des. We'll catch him next time. We'll be fine. So TD just clearing some chairs out, making a bit more space for the players. So down to 7. On we go. Couple of quick bust-ups there, but to be honest, they kind of sort of play themselves a little bit. I don't know what you think about the ace 5 of David Wise there, but it's he's got chips and it's the short stack, so I can kind of I don't mind the call really.
Yeah, we've got to assume he's got his finger on the pulse of the table. Having sat with these guys for a few hours, so a little more info than we had, Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. So TD's just saying that you can actually move around a little bit there now, which is great. Give the players a little bit more space. So dished out loads of the WSCOP leaflets. They're all on player tables yesterday, grabbed by loads of players who were looking forward to Nottingham at the end of the month.
Should be outstanding, Lee.
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, so it's going to be it's 25 bracelet events in total. 23 of those are live at dusk till dawn across 6 days. So it's going to be pretty manic, to be honest. But pretty much all the usual variants we've got in. We're kind of back up to full speed with that kind of thing. And yeah, if you want to get involved, buy-ins for a range from £60 up to 180 is our main event. Although you can play the main event for 150 if you play online with GG Poker. So that's always worth considering. And then we have got a high roller at 340 for anyone that fancies giving that a whirl. So yeah, well worth getting involved if you can. You can go to apat.com/WCOAP. And you'll find the full schedule on there, or if you're on our Facebook group or anything like that, you'll already see the details. I've just changed the banner today to show you the full schedule on the Facebook group, so do check it out. And if you want to buy in, registration is available at the moment via Lux on Pay or at the Dusk Till Dawn cash desk. So a couple of ways you can buy in if you want to. Lux on Pay is easy and simple. Just deposit funds on there, and then pretty much it's like online shopping. Just go and pick what you want to buy and buy yourself into, and they will do the rest for you. So.
Oh, absolutely, Leigh. So some more chats coming in. Triss is out there. Good luck all. Dave, the guy I know best. Jason, the guy in seat 4 was on my table last night. Good player. Good luck to him. Tony G is there, evening all, and he goes on to say, looking forward to Nottingham. I'll be there donating all week. And Dawn Cook is out there. Can't wait. Nottingham.
Yeah, saw Dawn yesterday. Saw Dawn and Gary yesterday. They were here playing. Nice to catch up with her. She was railing late on the day one yesterday, and was chatting to her for a little bit. She seems in very, very good spirits, and nice to see her again, as always.
Absolutely. Rick Wald says, go on, my favourite, David. And Ronnie Mott, go on, Dave G.
I mean, we are getting through the Daves and Davids on this final table. We've already lost Dave Brady in 9th place. We've still got David Wise in seat 6, and obviously Dave Garden in seat 1. So I'll say I'll keep you addressed to the action with Dave Garden all in. Just the blinds to get through. Is he going to actually? He's got an actual under the gun +1 raise, which was from seat 9, which was Glenn Davidge. So Glenn had raised it up to 350,000, and Dave is all in for 2.8 million. Dave is all in for. So decision on Glenn, and he's going to fold. So Dave Garden gets the shove through.
I think we might have seen a cheeky low pair there, Leigh.
Okay, you might have thought I was busy looking to see what Glenn was going to do there. So yeah, so Glenn from seat 9, say just to the right of the dealer, you can just see behind him there.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, he raised up to 350,000 from under the gun +1, and yeah, shove from Dave Garden gets through. On we go. So if you're just joining us, blinds are at 80,000, 160,000. This is the APAT Open Championship for 2023. 460 runners started this. We are now down to the remaining 7, all fighting for the top money and the APAT medals for first, second, and third. Yeah. I won't talk to you before tomorrow. So have a good flight. Yeah, enjoy. I'll speak to you during the week. Yeah. So just saying goodbye to Paul Haycock because he's on a plane to New York tomorrow, Dave.
Oh, nice.
Taking the boys for a break over to New York. So got loads planned over there. So hope he has a smashing time.
Absolutely.
Which I'm sure he will.
I am indeed on a plane tomorrow myself. Cannot wait.
Yeah, you're heading far afield. Yeah, far afield.
Not too far.
As close as you can get without being.
Yeah, across the channel, as it were.
Yeah. So we're going to see a flop here with Steve and Gerard, and it's Ace 5 King. Steve's on the button, and Gerard was in the big blind. So it's a raise from Steve, initially called by Gerard, and he's going to fire out a bet of 800,000. Steve says a call. Throws in 8 of the orange chips. So we'll see a turn card here, Des, which is the 9 of diamonds. Action back on Gerard. He's probably second in chips now, I would say.
He's going to take a little stab here by the look of things.
Well, he's so far only grabbed a couple of the green and blue chips, which are very small denominations. But as you can see there, it's fairly backed up. Who's checked? So Steve has fired out a bet of 1.175 million, 1,175,000. And decision back on Gerard. And he's going to fold those. So Steve is going to win that one. And Steve shows Queen Jack. So nice bet from Steve there. Takes that one down, Des.
All very calmly.
And it's certainly got comment from the table, that's for sure. But he shows the Queen Jack, which I think he's kind of feels like he's showing as a bit of a bluff. It might have been good in the first place.
Could have been well ahead.
Yeah, could have been quite possibly. But yeah, got a few comments from the table. From Gerard, who he was playing against, and actually from Patrick Hudson to his right as well. Just made a little comment to Steve, about turning up to play. So on we go. Got about another 16 minutes left of this level. So, and the aforementioned Patrick makes it 350,000 to play. With blinds at 80,000 and 160,000. It's just a little bit over a min raise. And Gerard has can't tell whether it's a re-raise. I think it might be a re-raise from Gerard. I can't see in the light. I can't see what the. Yeah, okay. I think he went to make the call and maybe didn't quite get the. Yeah, okay. So he's now made the call from the small blind, and Glenn in the big blind got out of the way. So we're going to be 2 players to the flop here. It's going to be Patrick and it's going to be Gerard, and we'll see the flop here, and it is Queen Ace 9. Check from Gerard. And a very quick check call, actually. $500,000 was the bet. 3 on the turn. Gerard asked to say, well, how much are you playing, Patrick? There's a stack of the black chips there, the 500k chips. Patrick started this final table with 6.1 million. So check from Gerard, and Patrick makes it 600,000 this time. And Gerard's going to fold, showing a 9. And Patrick just mucks his cards. I mean, Gerard here, our chip leader, Des, started the final table with 10 million, but he's frittered away quite a few chips here. I don't use frittered lightly. It's he's got himself in a lot of hands here, and he's had to let go a number of times. It's cost him lots of little chunks of his stack here.
Yeah, he's maybe just unfortunate not to catch any piece of it and find himself against players who are, willing to put some chips in against him. Worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. He's been on the wrong end of a couple of meaty pots recently.
Yeah. So he's on the He's on the button this time, which means it's Glenn, seat 9 in the small blind, Dave Gardner in the big blind. And we're folding round, right the way round to Gerard's button. So let's see what he's going to do with this. So he's flatted from the button. Glenn's made up the small blind. Dave Gardner in the big blind has gone all in. So decision back round on the two players at the far end of the table. Both going to have a decision to make, Des here. I've got them both in shot. It's Gerard first on the button. He's going to fold, and Glenn very quickly doesn't need much time to think about that. He gets out of the way as well, and another shot from David Harden gets through. Nice spot again to pick up some chips there. Yeah, I mean he's in the big blind, and he's had one limper. Small blind makes up the blind, and you're in the big blind there. I guess if you've got, you can be quite wide in your range there, but certainly it's a great position to actually just go, well, all right, I'm gonna at least make these guys play if they want to see a flop. So get your chips in the middle and see what happens. So yeah, Dave picks up another decent few chips to his stack.
Leigh on Twitch, Redajaga. Hoy poker, holy poker. Hi to you, sir. Hope you're having a good Sunday.
And don't forget, guys, whenever you watch the APAT streams or the APAT show on a Sunday night, we live stream on Twitch. We're on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube as well. And you can watch them all back anytime you like. So do get involved. We can pick up your messages wherever they may be.
Oh, Leigh, look, a more general question coming in from Rich Baker. WCOAP main event Sats. So discussions ongoing. Can we give the boys and gals any update on that?
Yeah, it's all been agreed. I'm just waiting to confirm dates when they're going to be in the lobby. There is going to be some satellites. That's all been kind of verbally agreed by GG that we're going to make that happen. So as soon as they can get the tournament team to get those in the lobby, and I can confirm they're there. I'm not going to say when that's going to be because they haven't told me. But as soon as I can get that and I know they're there, I'll give a shout out to everybody and let you know what's going on. I've got a board here of King 8 Ace, and Dave Gardner's made a bet of 550,000, which has been called by Ryan Robbins. Oh, sorry, not Ryan Robbins. Robert Gray, sorry, to his left. And we're going to see another 7 on the turn, so it's King 8-7-7 now. Just those two players, which are blind on blind. Dave was in the small blind, and Robert was in the big. Dave checks that turn card. As does Robert. So they're going to see a river card, which is a 4 and brings a third diamond on the board. Goes check. And Robert shows Jack 8 for the pair of 8s on the flop, and Dave folds. That's good enough to take that one down. And I'm going to say Robert's probably our chip leader on this table. He started second in chip Des with 8.2 million. He's steadily adding to the stack. But he's got them all nicely stacked in 10s there. So he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 12.5 mil.
Nice going. Good early play.
Yeah. So Steve is under the gun and makes it 500,000 to go. And Dave Wise to his left makes it 1.5 million. Gerard folds, as does Glenn, as does Dave Garden on the button. So just the blinds to get through here. They're both out the way. So back to the original raiser, Steve. He's looking across at David Wise's stack. It's another million if he wants to call. counting out his black chips, which are the half a million chips, 500,000 chips. And I get the feeling he's folding here, Des, I think. I think he's going to. Oh no, he had two black chips in his hand ready to go, and he's made the call. So we're going to see a flop here. It's King 3 Ace with a couple of diamonds. Check from Steve. That sees David counting out some more black chips. And as soon as he puts the black chips in the middle, Steve shows pocket eights and David had ace king. So absolutely smashed that that flop. I mean, so here's one for you, Des. Do you think David could have found a check there after the flop? It was checked to him by Steve on that board. He's absolutely smashed that board. Would you give a free card there to try and give enough rope to try
I think you might have done. I think you certainly could have done. Certainly a very valid option. But arguably, if you've got a customer who maybe has caught a little piece of that as well, you want to get some chips in as early as you can. So numerous ways you could play that one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's the re-raise with ace king. It suggests he's not going to play strong hand. Yeah. I wonder whether the fact is Steve wouldn't have been continuing. He's one. If he's not seeing an 8 on the flop, and he's got 2 overcards there. He's probably not. He's not getting involved anyway. So maybe, maybe it was good as it was going to be. And I suppose the argument is if Steve had maybe, I don't know, ace queen or ace jack, maybe he's continuing on that board. Quite possibly.
This is it.
80,000, 160,000 is where we're at blinds-wise.
That's what we love about the game, Lee, right? It isn't a science. There are lots of different ways to approach every single hand.
Absolutely not. Yeah, completely agree. So those two players that we just spoke about, it's going to be David. It's going to be under the gun first to act here this time round, and he folds. Down we go to Gerard. He folds, as does Glenn. Round to Dave Garden. And Dave folds. Let's see what Robert's going to do, our chip leader. Bottom left-hand side of your screen in the black baseball cap. And he's going to raise. Makes it 300,000. It needs to be 320. Which he now makes it. Patrick folds out the small blind, so it's just Steve in the big blind. And he's going to fold. So Robert's going to take that. And on we'll go. So if anyone just tuning in, we are live from Coventry, from the Coventry Building Society arena. Although now we are back in the Grosvenor Casino. We're back in the sports bar for this final table as they start to clear down a lot of the tables from Goliath in the main arena area on Sunday night. Ready to put it back to, I don't know what could be going on. I mean, there could be a Bruce Springsteen concert or something going on there tomorrow, guys, something along those lines.
I'm pretty sure there isn't a Springsteen concert there tomorrow.
No, we've been there before, haven't we? Yeah,
we have indeed.
I don't know. Yeah, we get kicked out whilst someone else is setting up. We had that at Wembley a long time ago, for anyone that may remember. The APAT event finished there, and Springsteen was setting up on the pitch.
I think we were between a Springsteen concert and the Champions League final. Glory days indeed, Lee.
Absolutely, but we are now currently we are the only ones in the sports bar. It is deserted, but this sports bar for the last week has been full of cash game players that have turned up to play Goliath. The numbers have just been ridiculous, absolutely crazy. They broke their records, broke their unique record, and the players in there, they were down to about 3-handed, I think, and the winner was going to scoop 220,000 for whoever takes that home. tonight, which is just phenomenal, isn't it? And it's for recreational poker players. It's a £150 buy-in tournament, which is just incredible.
Very nice indeed.
But they don't get a gold medal, though, Des. They do not get an APAT gold medal for winning that. And say big field for us to these 2 days. 460 runners in this event. Our second biggest, our second biggest field of the year. We were 482 in London earlier on in the year. I did think the record was going to go. We were all set for it to happen, and unfortunately, last night when we started, they had such a shortage of dealers. They had queues at the cash games, at the cash tables. They had the Goliath Cup on the run, which had a waiting list as well. We started with 200 runners and we had a waiting list of 420.
Wow.
On our alternates list, trying to get into this event last night. We managed to seat 260 of those that were waiting, and say huge appreciation for all the players for their patience. Whilst we tried to we got some more tables open in the end, about 4 more we could get open, and then it was just a case of waiting for bust out. And some players, they decided to sit there and sat down with pretty much 10-12 bigs last night and decided they'd give it a spin up and see what they could do. But it was up to the players. They could withdraw if they wanted to, but we ended up seating, say, 460 in total.
Fantastic.
But I will put out an apology to anybody that that was looking forward to play and didn't last night. From an APAT point of view, it's not how we wanted things to be, and it wasn't unfortunately of our making. But at the same time, we still will apologise for anyone that wanted to play. And hey, come along to Nottingham at the end of the month, or Cardiff, or Malta, or Nottingham again for Poker Squad. We've still got loads more events on this year, so lots of opportunities to meet up with the APAT community and play national championship poker, win yourself a medal, win yourself a title.
Absolutely, Leigh. And there's the prize pool. So straight off of the Grosvenor Poker app, 7.5k up top, 7.5 bags, 4.5 for second here, 28.50 for third, 2 for fourth, 17.50 for fifth, 1,500 for sixth, and they're all guaranteed 1,300 at this point. But it was a grand guaranteed for making the final table.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Nice pair. Min cash was 200. Yeah, min cash was 200. So if you made through, bagged up last night, which was lovely. It was superb effort from everybody that got through, because it was. But we ended up not actually having a bubble last night. Weirdly, Des. We got down to a couple of off the bubble, and then literally lost 3 players in the very next hand at the same time. And so our rules are. You're only in the money if you make day 2. So with all those 3 players busted, that was where we stopped. So basically we didn't even actually have to do hand for hand last night. The way it panned out.
Our friend GMM, who's just posted this on YouTube, what are the payouts? Hopefully he's just heard me call out the payouts there a minute ago. Also on YouTube, Brett Aldred, go on PK San. And apparently a hot update for you, Leigh. Tony G, Goliath, they did a 6-way deal. They're playing on now for 44k. Apparently now they're heads up for the 44k. So if they did a 6-way deal a few minutes ago.
Can I lay red into that now? Can I get into that?
I'm not sure if you can, Leigh. You're going to have no more than half a blind. I think
I'll put Tom in. I'll put Tom into it now, so we can do. Let me give you some chip updates, because we've got Tom's you might just see him going around the room.
Yes, please.
You'd hardly notice him, to be honest. Apart from that, he's wearing a bright red T-shirt, so he's quite in this lighting. He's very noticeable. So currently, Dave Gardner's got 2.9 million. Robert Gray has got 15.5 million. Patrick Hudson 5.2 million. Steve Johnson 4.5 million. David Wise 7.2 million. Jared Bennett is 7.1 million, and Glenn Davidge is 2.8 million. So thank you very much to Tom for latest chip updates there.
Absolutely. So it's Dave G and Glenn really who are at risk here, it has to be said. And just for GMM, let me flash those up again. 7.5k up top. Those are your payouts. 7 left at this moment in time.
So Dave's got a bit of a rail. Well, I say a bit of a rail. It's just yeah. It's only one person, but he's saying there's a lot of him these days. But
Yeah, there's only one person who's going under multiple aliases.
Kai is very much in the house supporting Dave. Been here all week. Yeah, so he's come to check him out. So he's having a good crack at this final table, looking for his second APAT title.
Absolutely. Both AD and I want to say Tris are getting tilted by the 10 stacks. we know those 10s to be in 20s or 30s if we can, Lee. Just gently lean across.
Just check this. Dave's all in again and got that one through again. Here we go. Let me do it. Let me give you a close up of the 10 stack.
Let's do it. There we go. That's for the boys. Dave.
That
Tris
is 15.5 million, folks.
Sweet.
There you go. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed.
It's like reverse chip porn, Lee.
Yeah, something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
So Kerry's out there as well. Hello all. Hello to you, Kerry. Hope you're well. GAM says, wow. He likes the thought of that 7.5K. And Rob Hallworth is out there. I'm going to stack in 5s at the WCOAP. That'll get you on the stream, Rob. That will get you on the stream. Guaranteed.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And just from
we like it.
Structure point of view, guys, here we are. We're in level 27, 80K, 160. Is that right, Lee?
Yeah, that's right.
We're not playing a 40-minute clock, are we?
Yes, we are. We're on a 40-minute clock.
Are we on a 40-minute clock? Bloody hell, Lee.
Yeah. 25 minutes day one. 25 minutes day one and 40 minutes on day two. And when we get I think it's three-handed, we drop that down to 20 minutes. So it gets halved when we get three-handed. Yeah. Super structure. It's really good. The players have absolutely, I'd say, even with everything that was happening last night with the ultimate, the players were still raving and making great comments about the structure. They absolutely love it. It's a lot to play, and it plays out in 2 days. It plays out in the timings that we would expect it to. So nobody can complain about that. I mean, if you want to play something quicker, well, there's plenty of other stuff out there. But if you want to play good quality deep stack poker, proper poker, then this is what we're all about.
Quite right.
There was even some complaint. There were some complaints yesterday that the structure was too good. Which Tom was shaking his head at it, going, "I can't understand that." But yeah, there was a few people making comment that the structure's just too good. Like, well, okay, what do you want us to do?
Listen, I understand that a little bit, Lee. I was playing on a GG. I want to say on Friday evening, and playing around with two little kiddies and stuff, and. Before I know it, there was a reasonable amount of chips, and I just, I got bored. I got bored, Lee, on GG. Are the structures that good on GG that I got bored?
No, probably not. You're just an adrenaline junkie. That's what it is.
Yeah, I just can't handle one table. It needs to be 12, 13 tables.
Yeah. So Gerard's raised it up to 400,000 here, and Robert out the small blind has made a call. Patrick's in the big blind, so decision on him. He's to the left of your screen in the blue top. He's in the big blind, so he's already put in the blind's just gone up, so he's actually already put in 200,000. So
he's doing a little reach here, Lee.
He's reaching for what I think is more than that. It is way more than that. He does. He's raised it up to 1.4 million. Decision back on Gerard, top of his screen. I'm having a look to see how much Patrick's got. It's not the first time he's done that.
Well, Gerard finds himself in a place here where, again, he's having to commit chips.
It's interesting. So Gerard's looking at Patrick's stack here. He's not seemed to paying attention that the chip leader is in his hand as well out of the small blind. I think he's assuming that he's just made it up and out the small blind he's not going to call. But I think Robert's going to get involved here, Des. So Gerard's made the call. So it's at 1.4 million. So the action has gone. Gerard's raised it up to 400,000. Yeah. Robert's let that go. So two players are going to see a flop here. Patrick will be first out. So deuce 9-4, a couple of clubs out there. And 800,000.
It's a quick call. Was that a call? That's an all in.
So,
Wow.
and
Wow.
Gerard says I'm all
And a
in.
call.
Patrick says I call. So Gerard's got ace jack. It's pocket aces for Patrick. Patrick's at risk with the aces, looking for a double up here. 10 is going to be no difference, and neither is the queen. And
Wow.
so Patrick is going to get a full double up there. Snap called the all in. I mean, so Gerald put the confusion was that Gerald put some chips across the line. So it was 800,000 was the bet from Patrick, and then Gerald put about 1.1 million across the line, and sort of mumbled something. But Patrick said, did you say all in? And he's like, yeah, I'm all in. Like, cool. Straight call. So not an issue there whatsoever, but it was a very strange. It wasn't enough chips to kind of suggest it all in. It wasn't like his biggest stack of chips or anything. So it was a little bit, it was an under raise effectively. It was a bizarre thing. I mean, but say Patrick wanted the chips in the middle, so that's what he got. So
that's a handy double for Patrick, getting his aces to deliver a full double up. Very nice. Somewhat rare, but very, very nice. Another example of Gerard, perhaps with ace jack there, maybe getting a little frustrated at how his final table has gone thus far.
Yeah.
Wanting to rush the action, reclaim some of those chips that he's lost. But it's cost him quite dearly, Leigh. He is in free fall. Just while the remainder of this count is occurring, we have Jack Caps Jenner is out there up the paddy.
We just got it sorted. The count is 4,130,000. I mean, to be fair, the chips that they've got us using here it's not helpful for the dealer or anybody as to what's going on. It's just I won't even bore you all with it, but yeah, it's become the denominations on a couple of the chips aren't what actually we're playing. So they've been playing with 25 chips that are 25k chips for the whole of the tournament. So that's kind of they've got used to it. But they've now introduced 50k chips, but they're 500k. So the players all know it, and it's not a problem. But it just means sometimes when the dealers punish pretty counter for an entire stack to sort of double up. Yeah, we're all just double checking it and making sure it's right, not from a dealer's point of view, but it is kind of confusing as to what's going on, which is it's just the way it is. So
I guess
they've got five tournaments on the go, and they've got 5 different chip stacks in play, and it's just a
bit messy.
Yeah, a lot going on. Yeah, a lot going on.
Clem Price out there, come on, Rap Gray, take it down. Good timing. Right.
So on we go. We're 30 minutes into level 28 now. Blinds are 100,000, 200,000 with a running ante. Oh, what's a running ante? A big blind ante, should I say, of 200,000 as well. And on we go. Going to be Patrick in this small blind. This time Steve in a big blind, which means it's going to be David to act first. He folds, as does Gerard, as does Glenn. Round we go to Dave Garden. He's out the way as well. Our chip leader on the button. Well, I thought he was going to get involved in that last time. Probably quite grateful he didn't really in the end with the aces of Patrick.
Very much so.
It's a raise to 600,000 from the button for him. And Patrick re-pops it to 1.9 million. Steve very quickly out the way in the small blind. So actions back round onto our chip leader. And he says, I'm going to raise again. Robert does. It's just going to count out how much it's going to be, Des. So the current bet is 1.9 million from Patrick, with an original raise of 600,000 from Robert. We've put a stack of the 500k chips in, and it's going to be 4.5 million. So decision back on Patrick. His newly gained chips from the last hand of his aces. He's already put 1.9 million in the middle. He's asking Robert why. He's asking Robert why didn't he shove? You normally shove. Patrick's chatting away to him. He's asked 4.5 million total.
So
already put 1.9 in.
He's pretty determined to put some chips in here, Leigh.
Looks like it. And Patrick says, I'm all in.
Crikey, and of course,
decision back on Robert. This is going to be
huge
if he makes the call here, because so Patrick was up to about 10 million now, but Robert very quickly folds and Patrick shows pocket kings
after aces.
Yeah. So so if you think he's just gained 4.5 million, I mean that hand, so that's pretty much the same sort of amount he's gained from the previous hand, really. Without needing to actually take that one to absolute showdown.
So Leigh, let me reverse your question from the last hand, the previous hand. Could he perhaps have made a call there and maybe gotten some more chips?
Possibly, but I guess the point is what do you want to see? What do you want it to see? If an ace comes down then on the board,
well, you want to avoid those 3 aces, right?
Yeah, you're hating that, absolutely. I should mention on the rail here, Des, we've got APAT royalty on the rail.
Is that Brian Yates? I see from the Black Country Poker Club.
Busy chatting to Sarah and Mark on the rail.
Bring him over.
Give us a wave.
Let's have a
give
chat.
us a wave.
Come
give
on.
us a wave. There you go. There you go. There you go. So I'm assuming Brian was. Well, he can't have been playing the seniors, can he? Could he have been playing the seniors? I mean, there's a possibility, but surely not. I see. The trouble is, I don't believe anyone I know is old enough to be playing the seniors, and then I realise I'm probably only about 3 years away from it myself. So, so it's absolute nonsense, isn't it? Really? Yeah.
Time is flying, my friend.
So Patrick's giving plenty of love to the dealer after the last couple of hands. Yeah. There's a bit of a romance starting here by all accounts. Yeah. But to be honest, who doesn't love a dealer that deals you aces and then kings 2 hands in a row? Yeah.
I'm in for that.
Andy scooped the last hand as well. Just a little sneaky 500k raise on the button. It folded round to another button, so he picks that one up as well. So that's 3 in a row for Patrick, to be fair. That is 3 hands in a row. And I'd imagine he's got to be chip leader now. After taking 4.5 million off of Robert plus what he won the previous hand, I'd imagine, he's going to be chip leader now.
Yeah, you'd have assumed so, Leigh.
Yeah. Now our new chip leader, for those of you at home, he's a 20 stack type of guy. Yeah. So the rail were commenting on the 10 stack of of our previous chip leader. So our new chip leader is a 20 stacker. So yeah. So and Dave Garden he just wishes.
He's got a very tiny stack, Leigh.
Yeah.
Very tiny stack.
Des, don't you go commenting about Dave's stack. Don't offend him now.
That's a Blackpool stack. That is, it's a really small stack, Leigh.
It's a Blackpool stack. Yeah.
It's not quite the tower.
Yeah. It definitely isn't the tower, that's for sure. No, definitely not. But it could be. The point is he has hopes and dreams that it could be. So we will see. So for those just tuning in, we are watching the APAT Open Championship live from Coventry. This is day 2. We're down to the final 7 players. 460 runners started yesterday. These are the final 7. Now already locked up comfortably over £1,000 each, with 7,500 up top for the winner. APAT medals for the top three as well. We've got a little bit of a rail building here, actually. Players are coming busting out of other tournaments. So their players sat around. All of a sudden, they thought I was talking to them. It's quite interesting when you've got pods in your ear and you're chatting, isn't it? You've got Andy Hills over there, Grosvenor Pro. Been playing here all week, so chatting away to some of the rail. So, yeah. So lots going on. But yeah, half the time I don't think they realise, because I've got AirPods in at the moment, because I've a bit of a tech issue earlier on, so I'm having to wear those. So I think they think, yeah, no one knows who I'm talking to. They're just like, occasionally say this Des guy, and they don't know who it is. He's talking to some voice in his head. What's he doing? A weird bloke wandering around with a camera.
It's all the rage in America, Leigh. All the rage.
Is it really? Yeah, yeah.
They don't call it streaming over there, though, Leigh. They call it politics.
No, absolutely. Just checking what's going on here. So it was a little raise from actually a flat from Robert, and got round to Gerard in a small blind, but he just shoved his stack. Just went them all in. I mean, to be fair, he's got through that 10 million starting stack that he has. He's probably got, Dave, I reckon, 2 million, maybe not even that. It's just a really horrible start to this final table. Obviously, you can come back from it, but it's just really not gone the way you'd want as a chip leader going into a final table. Oh, Steve just makes it back in time. Action Steve makes it back in time for this hand. They're letting him out. So Glenn gets to play a game of Crazy Pineapple and choose which one of his three, his three discarding, and there's an extra card going his way. But they've sorted it out now, so he's got the right to. To be fair, he hadn't looked at them, so he just said which one it was that was extras. So raise from Patrick. He's made it up to just min raise up to 400,000 from under the gun +1. Folded all the way around. It's going to be just Dave Garden on the big blind, and now he folds those. So Patrick's going to win that as well. So a little bit of momentum here for Patrick. After picking up those couple of big hands with the aces and then the kings, he's now picked up another little small pots. Of course, the rest of the table now are up against the chip leader if they decide to get involved in the hand against him. So it's all changed, doesn't it?
Still relatively early days, Leigh. All quite calm, really.
Yeah, it is. We had the first couple of early bust outs, which were the two shorter stacks, really, weren't they? They were the two players. So we lost David Brady in 9th place. He started the day with this FT should say with 1.7 million, as did Ryan Robbins, who finished in 8th. So they were the two shorter stacks. Then we were up in the kind of the 3-4 million, 5 million mark. So it wasn't surprising. What I guess was really surprising was David Brady did double up first, didn't he? So he got the double up. He was the first one to actually take some chips off Gerard, and then after that, we kind of we're there to go. So yeah.
So guys, if you're out there and supporting some of the players, as we see Dave Garden committing his stack, do give a shout out. We can put it up on screen.
Oh.
So Dave's all here again, Leigh, but he's going to get that through.
Yeah. Dave's all in and gets that through. So I've got the rail asking me questions, which is the usual thing. Ignore the fact that actually, I'm doing what I'm doing. You go, I know you're busy, but after latest chip stacks, so they'll have to work it out for themselves. Most of the players have got it stacked in 10s and 20s. Apart from Steve. Steve doesn't stack his in 10s or 20s. He just whatever he fancies. It's like
it's a construction project over there, Leigh.
Yeah, he's just got it going on, hasn't he? Yeah, just whatever suits him, to be honest. So it never fails me. You're here holding a camera with say microphone on or whatever, and you still get people coming up. I know you're busy, but can I just ask? Yeah, not really.
It's fair enough. That's fair enough. It's
Yeah.
It's all good.
Absolutely. So on we go. So let's see. So it's going to be folding all the way around, and it's going to get right round to Patrick actually. And I mean, this is where it's ended up. Patrick's getting a walk now. That's where we're at with it. So it's a crazy situation. But yeah, Patrick gets a walk. So that's what happens when you're chip leader, and on you will go. So on we go. Just had a quick mute there to have a chat with my friend on the rail to explain I am doing a stream. He said, "Yeah, I know." I said, "That's why I was whispering." I went, "Right, okay." And he's just asking. He's trying to get me to write chip counts, and I'm like, yeah. You see how many pairs of hands I've got? It's gonna get busy in here because they're clearing some space because it looks like they're moving another final table in here by the looks of it. So we might start getting a little bit busier as they're moving more people out of the arena into this space. This could get fun, Mr. Duffy. This could get fun.
We can handle it, Leigh. We've handled worse over the 16, 17 years of APAT.
I'm more worried about the fact that we set up here thinking we were going to be the only ones, and all our kit is on the table. And yeah, we'll worry about that in a second. I get Tom to lock everything down. I don't fancy a Manchester incident. So Dave Garden is putting his top on because he's cold. So yeah. So that's the latest news from the table. Yeah. So we've got a flop here, which is Queen King 7. I've now got Brian Yates slapping me on the back of the head. I'm literally ready to go home. I really am. This is a bit of a So we've got a board here, Queen, King, 7, Queen, and it'll be Patrick to make a decision again. He's up against David White, and this time he fires out a bet of, that might be 800,000, I think. Decision back on. Yeah, cheers, Brian. I give up, Des. I really do.
I thought it was a shooting gallery for a moment there. He just kept popping over and back.
I just give up. I really do. Decision back on David Wise. And the bet is, I think it's 800,000. And he's going to fold. And Patrick is going to add another stack of chips there. That was about 1 million, 2 million, 3, 4, 4.8 million in the middle of that pot, including the 800,000 he chucked in. So yeah, so he's certainly added a couple of million to his stacks. Chip leader keeps gathering chips.
He's on quite the streak.
Yeah.
But we've seen this before, Leigh, right?
I've got a feeling I'm looking at the table that's actually moving in here, and I think it's the seniors' final table, if you ask me. So I'm taking a punt on it, looking at them.
Well, if it's the seniors, Leigh, you'll need to be keeping your noise down.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be we're 10 o'clock at night here. I mean, it's. Oh,
yeah, Leigh, it's only 9 o'clock where I am.
Was it really?
Yeah, but
wow.
we're south of you, down in London.
Yeah.
It's only 9 o'clock.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. You get extra hours, don't you, for being in London? It's a London thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a daylight. We're guaranteed the daylight by the Labour mayor. We've got to pay extra for the ULEZ.
We've got an all in, and it's Glenn Davidge all in, and Dave Garden is all in. They're not sure stack wise how this is going to work, so we'll have to see what happens. Got the blinds to get to first, though. Steve folds in the small blind, and David Wise is all in the big blind. We've got a three-way all in. Right, let me talk you through this. We've got Jack 9 for Glenn. It's Ace King for Dave Garden. It's Ace King for David Wise. David Wise is going to have them both covered.
He's got live
as far as
cards.
the other two, I think Dave Gardner's got more chips than Glenn. So it's the Jack 9 that is definitely at risk. Here we go. It's 8,
Oy, oy,
8
oy.
Jack 10. Jacks go ahead with up and down straight draw as well. 5 on the turn. And 4 on the river, and it's going to be a full tripler for
Wow.
Where's he going? Yeah, I'm assuming he is. Yeah. Glenn's gone away. Glenn's got up. I'm assuming he knows he's just won that hand. But yeah.
He's probably gone for a fag, Leigh,
yeah,
because
yeah. So
the stress of the moment.
So it's it's the most bizarre way of winning a triple up. He just literally got up and walked away. But yeah, so we're just going to count this up, and it's going to be a full tripper, and then obviously the rest of it is it'll be split between the other two, and so Dave Garn will get a little bit back on that one once we just get a count.
And needless to say, he's not getting back what he put in, Leigh. He will be extremely short after this hand, Dave Garden.
Yeah. So it's 3,040,000 is the count. So David is sorting out his going over. It can't be. Yeah, we're just going to recount it.
So I guess this is where they've got to figure out what's a 25 chip, a 25,000 chip, a
yeah,
500,000 pound chip, and
yeah. $2,140,000. Yeah, so 2,140,000. So David's counting out his 2,140,000. Dave Garden's doing the same. And we'll get back whatever else he had left behind. And so yeah, that's going to leave Dave Garden with about 1.4 mil, maybe something like that.
well, there's a bunch of support for Glenn out there. Jason, Steve, Peter.
Yeah,
go on, Glenn.
So Glenn got a full double up there, plus what was in the middle. So he's now up to about 6.5 million, I think, something like that. He'll be up to, and he's back. Don't worry, he is back.
He's back. He's shown. There we go.
Back. There you go. He is very much back. So literally wins with his Jack 9. So the rest of it was Ace King versus Ace King. So they effectively would have chopped up what was left in. So just taken what's back from their stacks once they sorted Glenn out, and we're away to go. Yeah, as you can see, the chips aren't helping with what goes on here in the processes, but we're good to go, and on we go.
Let's do it.
Say. And to make it even more fun now, we've now got a dual plot on the screen because we've got 2 tournaments on the go in here. So I've got to squint a little bit more to see what's going on. Right, on we go. Next hand. After that took a little while, but we got there in the end. So David in the small blind, it's Gerard in the big blind, and Glenn managed to act first with his new chips. And he folds, and Dave Garden is all in next to act. And Robert folds as Patrick does. Round we go to Steve on the button, just the blinds to get through. And Gerard gives a shake of the head. His chips aren't going, there's not a card going in the middle yet. And he's going to fold, showing 4-5 of diamonds he folds. So,
And even that was a reluctant fold, Lee.
and Dave Garden shows a four of spades. So
I'm still not betting he was ahead, Lee.
possibly not. Possibly not. I think we might see a few more of those with Dave Garden in the next couple of hands.
So Lee, is the seniors, has that been set up now? Is that behind you?
What's that? Sorry, yes, it is. They're just they've chips are in play, chips are there. They're just sorting themselves out before they get going.
Let's have a look at the proximity. Let's see how close it is.
So we're here, and there's a rail here. They are just
there. You go. Okay.
And over the far side is Michelle and Tomo having a bit of food, if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're over the far end. So
fantastic.
It's all go here. It's all go here in Coventry.
Yeah, apparently Glenn went for a celebratory beer. I think that would make a bunch of sense. Or Darren says maybe he went for a shuffle. I think we know what he means by he went for a shuffle. Anyway, he's back.
We're going to be yeah.
And he's got chips in play.
It is. Yeah, so it's got to raise from Steve, and Glenn's on the big blind this time, and has made the call. He has, so 400,000 was the raise. So two of them went to see the flop. So here we go. Deuce, Queen, 7, a couple of diamonds there.
What did he do? What's happened there, Lee?
So Steve's gone, I'll have the same bet again. And Glenn's gone, well, I think you're finding me to act first. He's gone, oh, yeah, you're right. So,
and he's pulled it back. Can he pull it back?
So he's pulled it back. So Glenn says, I checked. So Steve says, well, I'll make that bet. And Glenn says, okay, I'm going to call it. Yeah. So, and we're good to go now. Yeah, on we go. And it's another queen on the turn. Check from Glenn. Check from Steve. So we're going to see a river card, which is the deuce of clubs. So it's deuce, queen, 7, queen, deuce. And Steve says, I'm all in. And it's now a turn all in again, as Glenn makes the point. Glenn says, I call.
Wow.
So Steve, Glenn shows 7-5, and Steve mucks.
What?
And so Steve is going to double up. In fact, I think Glenn's got him covered, I think. So we're just going to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happened.
That's the most bizarre hand I think I've seen.
And Steve is out. I'll leave it at that, folks. Yeah. Steve is out.
So he's pushed all in out of turn for the second sort of street in a row.
Yeah.
Effectively.
And we lose Steve Johnson in 7th place. Very well done to him.
Unlucky, Steve.
Good fun at the table. I'm not sure quite whether he knows what happened there, but that's what happened, and off he goes. Quite possibly the most bizarre hand I've ever done on the stream. But anyway, we'll move on. And I've been doing this for a long time.
Look, he's a decent guy. I'm sure there was nothing untoward happening there, but you could look at that and suggest that he was, trying to, I don't know, get in before Glenn put some chips in.
He didn't even show his hand. I mean, I partly wants to ask whether Glenn's related to him or something. That was just bizarre.
What a bizarre hand.
That was just so twice he bet out of turn. And then when the river card came down, he just said, I'm all in. And Glenn said, well, that's an all in out of turn.
Well, luckily,
but before Steve said anything, Glenn said, well, I call it. So they allowed it to stand. I mean, a ruling would have said, what a ruling has said. A ruling was said you bet out of turn, so the all-in only counts if. So yes, so I mean, Glenn would have got to have done exactly what he did anyway. So it wouldn't have
I think
mattered.
it would have
But,
played out
yeah,
as it played out.
yeah, but very bizarre. But we lose Steve in
Yeah.
7th place, and we're down to 6th. So
But it's super clear that if the action had gone as intended, and I'm not saying that Glenn would have shoved all in, had he played first. But in any event, there's almost no way that Steve would have been calling.
And just to be clear,
an all-in.
Glenn's made the call there with 7-5. He's got 7, so it's Queen, it's Deuce Queen 7 Queen Deuce, wasn't it? I think, yeah, if I remember rightly. So yeah, he's made the call with I've got the 7 and thinks he's good, and
Yeah.
Steve hasn't got a Queen or a Deuce.
Well, the Glen Rail is happy with that, Lee. Darren, nice, Glenn.
Yeah.
What a call. Yes, Glenn from Jason. Peter King, go on, Glenn, Morton, Davidge. And Tony G asks question, do they not force you to show if it's an all-in? Do you know, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, yes, they would. I'm not quite sure why that didn't get done.
He was
But
very
basically, he
got
mucked
rhythm
and was
quickly.
like, I've lost. Yeah, he's mucked and I've lost. So yes, I mean, the only issue would be from any sort of kind of say a collusion point of view, but
yes,
yeah, I'm not sure
absolutely no question of that
exactly,
at all.
No, exactly. So I don't think there's any issue there.
Well,
It just was a bizarre thing the way that played out.
Listen, I've time-stamped it.
Steve's on the rail. Steve's on the rail now, chatting to his his friend on the rail, and we move on. We're down to 6. So yeah.
Well, I've time-stamped it, Lee, and we'll discuss it on the stream next Sunday evening. I don't know what guest we'll have on, but we'll talk that hand through because
absolutely. David Wise is all in. Meanwhile, David Wise is all in, folding round. Got to get through Robert on the big blind, who shows 8-5 offsuit, so that's going to get through. So that's not a problem. So David Wise, we're getting to that. I was just surprising actually because we're still pretty stacked here. With average stack is 30, 32 big, something like that. But there seems to be a lot of aggression going on at this table, getting chips in the middle. So, I mean, long may it continue because it makes for action, that's for sure. It's interesting to watch.
Absolutely. Steve says, go Glenn. Darren, he tried the Paul Kelly move, whatever that is.
Yeah, Mark Lasman is now on. Yeah, Mark Lasman is now on the rail with Steve as well, and they're still talking it through. I mean, Steve's got a couple of bottles of beer, one in each hand. He doesn't look overly bothered by the whole thing. Yeah, it doesn't look overly bothered by the whole thing. So,
Simon says only the 3 rule violations in that hand. Well played, sir. It did get out of control there pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so Tris says that they certainly should have shown the all-in hand. Tony comes back and says, I mean, I get why he mucked. Clearly embarrassed. Yeah, probably. But we've all made moves, right? The timing was just way off on a number of different ways, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just going to talk to the table. I'm just going to talk to the table because they're asking. Yeah, we post it on. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So take your pick. Yeah. If you search APAT, you'll find us on the APAT Facebook group, on Twitch Poker channel, and on the APAT YouTube channel as well. So yeah. I mean, just talking to the table who are asking where they're currently being streamed live, for those that want to know. So that was David Wise in seat 6 that was asking that question. So I've got a board here of 7-7 King, and it's Patrick and Glenn in the hand here. Both players have newly acquired chips, I suppose. Yeah, kind of like new money.
Well, Glenn's been on a heater recently,
and it wasn't too long ago. It was Patrick that was doing that. So bets 200,000 by Patrick, called by Glenn. We're going to see a river card. And it's a king, so it's 7-7 King 5 King.
I'm liking my ace here, Lee.
And 600,000 is the bet from Patrick this time. And makes the call. Glenn makes the call. And it's Ace Jack and it's Ace Deuce. So the King 7s and the 8 is going to play. They'll chop it up.
Liked my ace.
You did say you like your ace, and they both like theirs. Yeah. Quite right.
Yeah, great call by Glenn there from Simon. Is Steve still on the rail there, Leigh?
Yeah, he's still chatting away to his friend. No, I'm not talking to him.
Can we draw him in and find out what was going on there?
I'm not having that conversation. I'm not having that conversation. It will go on for too long. It really will. What I'll do is I'll get Tom to find out. Tom can then transcribe
neatly summarize.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. To be fair, Steve still hasn't actually worked out how he gets paid out. He's just sat with walking around with 2 beers, trying to find a TD to actually get him paid out. So we haven't actually got there with that. So we'll leave him for a bit and let him sort himself out. I'll have a chat with him at some point and find out what was going on. So on we go next time. So blinds have just gone up. So I think they might have played this hand at 100, 200, but it'll be 120, 250 next hand. So as I'm now TDing as well, Des, just so you know that. Yeah. Gerard is all in. Under the gun. Getting it through so far. Just got David in the big blind. Who shows 7 deuce, the monster that is.
I'll tell you what, Leigh,
gets that through.
I think I've got some insight on that hand for you here. Steve Brook is out there. He said he, meaning Steve, was smashed yesterday and looked to be loving life. I'm sure poker is just half the reason he's in Coventry.
Yeah, no, so, absolutely.
He's still recovering, perhaps.
Steve had a great day. So he was telling me last night he had a fantastic table yesterday. So the guy's birthday on there as well. They were having an absolute superb amount of fun. So Gerard won that. He showed ace queen, and on we go. So blinds are now 120, 250 of the prizes. I will look to do that in a second. Give me one moment and I'll sort that out for you. They are there. No, you're not on anything. So,
is that Steve with beers?
Okay, right. So Steve's basically, I can talk you through that hand if you want. 12 bottles deep. That's all you need to know. 12 bottles deep. That was the strategy and how he played it. So blinds are now 120,000, 250,000 with a big blind ante at 250. On we go, and I'm just going to sort out the prizes for the players.
Leigh,
because nobody else is here. So Hale, why won't I do that? Let's go with that.
I don't know. Look, I don't know if you've ever watched the snooker from the Crucible or anywhere, but they've got a man who has a big iron and he irons the snooker tables during the breaks. I wonder if you could maybe do that just to get a nice sheen.
Yeah.
Dave Garden,
meanwhile, Dave Garden is all in and he's going to get called. It's pocket queens for Dave Garden and it's pocket eights for Glenn. And it's going to be the queens that are going to be at risk here.
Okay, here we go.
We get this set up. Queens at risk. Queens for Dave Garden. Glenn's got the eights. Here we go. Nine, ace, 5. 10 on the turn. And there is a river 8.
Wow.
And we're going to lose Dave Garden in 6th place.
That is brutal.
Very, very well done to him. Great run from our champion from back in 2011, our world champion from 2011. Wow. And that heater, I say his name is Glenn Davidge, but it could be Glenn Frey because the heat is on. The heat is on. There's one for you. Yeah,
the heat is on. He died. He died, right?
Now the table were just asking for prize payouts, so I'm going to see if Tom can help them out a little bit.
Sorry, there's money, Leigh?
Apparently there's money.
Can't believe
so let me just have a quick word with Tom to see if he can do that for me.
As Glenn says, Harry rather says, come on, Glenn, 10.
Bear with me a sec.
Listen, I can give this to you, Leigh, if this will.
But guys, whilst you were asking, so we're five-handed now. So fifth place is 1750, fourth is 2000, third is 2850. It's 4,500 for second, and it's 7,500 up top. Okay, for those of you that were asking, thank you very much to the gentleman on the rail for helping me out there with a phone and internet, which is brilliant. That's always good. And they're just wanting to have a 5-minute break, which I need to sort out with Tom. We may well just be giving the guys a 5-minute break. Yeah, all the players have agreed to a 5-minute break because one of the players actually is diabetic and he just needs to go and quickly take 5 minutes. So we're going to do that. So we're going to have a 5-minute break here, Des. So what I'll do is I'll leave the camera on. I'm just going to go on mute for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you do that,
and
Leigh.
we'll be back in 5. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll just put a clock running. So, guys, you heard that. We're just going to put we can leave the table on vision, I guess, but with a 5-minute clock up there to give you an indication as to when the players will be back. So still awaiting the players, guys. I should be back any moment now.
So we're just waiting for those players to come back, and we will be underway. Gerard has already sat the seat, as is Patrick. Tom's order. I don't know what Tom's eating there. I think it might be chili.
Dear God. Oh, too much information, Leigh. Please withdraw.
What's that? What is that? I'm not sure what it is, but anyway.
Close up on the chips, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it sent the gimbal into absolute disarray, basically. The gimbal is having none of it. It's
what the hell is going on here, Leigh? Where are these guys?
Yeah, we have broken. I think literally Tom's chili might just have broken my gimbal. It's not having any of it. Let me see if I can do a reset on that. If you go to the other camera.
Yeah, we can do that. There you go.
I will do a reset on that whilst I sort out what's going on with that.
So here we are. Heads up, Leigh. A little earlier than expected.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were? But we're not, unfortunately. Yeah, players. So we said 5 minutes. They've taken a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but all is good. So Michelle cashed in the seniors.
Good going. I still think they need to check her passport.
Alan finished 10th, and I to be honest, I was wanting to check a number of the passports. I didn't believe a number of them, to be honest. It was very, very questionable. Robert's returned as well now, so we're only 2 players short. We're only missing David, and we're missing Glenn, and we'll be able to get going again.
Fantastic. August 23rd to 28th, guys. The WCOAP at DTD 23 bracelet events. That is going to be absolutely superb. Mixed games.
Yeah, so 23 braces events, but 25 in total, Des, because there are a couple online as well, which are happening afterwards. So yeah, indeed. So basically from 2 weeks today. So 2 weeks today is the first day one at Dusk Till Dawn. So if you want to get involved in that and play the main event, that's 2 weeks today. And then there's a couple of online day ones on the Monday and Tuesday. And then we're live from Dusk Till Dawn on the Wednesday for the start of 6 days of poker, which takes us through to the bank holiday Monday. And then the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're on GG Poker with events, with a couple of bracelet events on the Friday and the Saturday with GG. So the dealer's just getting himself logged into the APAT Facebook group. What do we reckon, folks? Do we approve him? I mean, check him out. Yeah. He looks a decent sort. What do we think? Yeah,
he's very neatly,
He's
neat.
Okay. He looks all right. He looks neat. He looks well respected. Yeah, it'd be fine. Yeah, yeah. So all good. So we'll let him into the group. That seems reasonable. So we can join over 5. I mean, are we over 5,000-6,000 in the APAC group? I think at least.
No idea. I've given up counting.
Silly number.
To be honest, Leigh, we turn more people away.
Yeah. So we're getting going again, Des. We're level 29. We've got about 30 minutes left of that. Blinds are 120,000, 250,000 with a 250,000 big blind ante. We are now five-handed. 5 players remaining. So we've got Robert sat in seat 2, Patrick in seat roughly 4, I think he was. David was in seat 6. Gerard over there in seat 8, and Glenn completing the 5 in seat 9. Chip leader is going to be Patrick. I think pretty much looking at the stack of chips. Not far behind. Glenn is going to be close in second there. And then Robert will be third. And then it'll be Gerard and David that are going to be the short stacks at this table. Looking at both of their stacks, Des, I think I'll just step away from the table as I say this. I don't think it's going to be long before we're going to see their chips going in the middle here. That is for sure.
Leigh, could you kick camera 1? Maybe reset might be required.
Which one? The static?
Yeah. It's just we've got a frozen image there.
We might be killing the power on it. That could be the problem. Yeah, it's gone. Let me see if I can get a reset on that for you.
Fantastic, thank you. The tower never has to go through this stuff, Leigh.
Yeah, it's
he doesn't know how spoiled he is.
Feels like a bit of a one-person job here at the moment. How's that?
Oh, there we go. There we go. We are back. That should settle in any moment.
All good?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you, Leigh. Oh, there's a lady approached the table with a Goliath hoodie.
Yeah, she was just dealing, and she just wanted to come. She's just finished for a week, and she just wanted to come over and say good luck to the remaining guys. She's been dealing this tournament for most of the day, and just was having a great time. So
that's very decent of her.
So she plays a little bit as well, and she said she might turn up to Dustle Dawn and come play some of our world. She's got 3-year-old twin boys. So
that's going to keep you busy.
It's got a handful with those, but yeah.
Wowzers.
So she's also she's a teacher as well, so just deals in non-term time. So,
wow, crikey!
Race from Robert and Patrick Folds. So Robert wins that one.
Leigh, Matt Smith.
Blind on blind.
Matt Smith is out there and he says, "Go on, Patrick, the finest donkey from East Anglia. Only in poker streams, Leigh. Do you get this type of compliment?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Finest donkey from East Anglia. Love it.
Well, there's dealer cuddling going on here now.
Oh, I tell you, Leigh, can you imagine her leaving a class of 30, the end of term?
Oh,
going to be stuck there for an extra 3 days.
It's going to be a lot of best teacher bugs going on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to see. It is nice to see.
Yeah, so say on non-turn time, can deals a bit of poker, plays a bit of poker. Lives in Milton Keynes, I think she said. So Gerard is all in, and it's Glenn folds, Robert folds. We're round to Patrick in the small blind. he folds as well. So it's just the other short stack David in the big blind. What's he going to do? Goes six deuce, and he folds ace queen for Gerard. Not the first time he's flipped over ace queen when he shoved all in.
His timing's just been a little off on this final table, Leigh.
Yeah,
he's tried to make some moves. They just haven't worked out for him. We know what that feels like, right? Whether it comes back or not is yet to be seen. But yeah, just hasn't been his final to date.
No, it really hasn't. Came on here as chip leader, and yeah, just not really worked, has it? But things can change. I mean, look what Patrick always was. Patrick always was fairly stacked. He came on here with about 6 million, didn't he, onto this final table, and has added to that with a couple of obviously the aces and the kings do help at the right time when you get paid off and they hold.
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn's the one that really has gone from kind of a shortish stack to a decent stack through just a real heater of cards.
It's a 15-minute purple period.
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, got lucky with the Jack 9 versus the Ace King versus Ace King. But actually, Jack 9's not that far behind against both those hands because obviously they've got
blockers
against
cards.
each other, improving. Yeah, exactly. So it's not the worst situation in the world to find himself in, and it's then gone from strength to strength there, really.
It's an outstanding situation, Leigh, because it afforded him the opportunity to treble up against a single hand. The hand was Ace King. Avoid an ace, a king, and to be honest, there were only another 2 aces and another 2 kings in the deck. It was a fabulous position, much better than I would imagine he could have hoped for when all of those chips went in.
Yeah,
and he was fortunate enough to catch.
So Glenn's raised it up to 525,000 under the gun here. Folded all the way around to Gerard on the big blind, and he's having a proper think about this, guys.
Oh, he's making a call, I think, Leigh.
And he's just made the call. So, two hands, 2 players, should I say? Even cards, hands, players, all the same thing. Deuce, 6, deuce. There's the board. Gerard says I'm all in, and Glenn very quickly folds.
Glenn says, I am all out. Yet. What's he showed, Leigh?
He doesn't mess about. Have you noticed that? He's not really he shows King 9, I think it was. He doesn't take long to make his decisions. Have you noticed that? Glenn, very, very quick.
I quite like that.
Already kind of like
poker needs
feels
that.
Like he's already kind of well the thing is you can make decisions pondering stuff quite a lot, but a lot of the time, even if there's action to come, you surely have got you've got in your head. I know you say surely because I do it. You've got in your head, okay, right, well, I kind of know if this guy shoves or this, what I'm probably going to do. Not needing to overthink about it a huge amount. Yeah. You'll have the odd spot where it's a really polarizing decision for you, and you just want to think it back through to make sure you've got the logic in play and you've got the math in the right place for it. But a lot of the time, you kind of know what the chances are your player that you're playing up against is going to do. Are they going to raise it? Are they going to shove? And you kind of must know what you've got in your head. And that seems to be the way Glenn plays it. He's already got that lined up, and therefore his decision making is pretty quick. I know what I'm going to do. Get on with it.
Leigh, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but we've lost camera 1.
It could be that we're on a power thing with that, and I'm going to have a problem with that.
Something's going a bit screwy. Meanwhile, Richard Brown's out there. He says, watching from Livingston. Lovely part of the world. I used to work with Sky once upon a time, and we did have some quite big call centres up there in Livingston. Hey, what about Scottish football back, Leigh? And some people are saying the league's all over. Pretty much done now.
Well, possibly that is the case, isn't it? Yeah, that could well be. It
might be a bit early, Leigh, to be honest, but you got to love a wag that says it's all done on match day 1. So it looks like David's got his chips in here.
Yeah, David's all in. It's got to get through. Patrick's the one who's going to get. I think Patrick's going to call. Patrick does make the call.
The call. Here we go.
So it's pocket fours for David. It's ace 10 for Patrick. It's the fours that are going to be at risk here. Deuce 6-9 with 3 spades, 4 spades out there as well. Ace on the river, but it is, but it is a spade. It is a spade, so the 4 of spades is going to play.
Wow. David
thought he was out. He thought he was out, and then realised he wasn't. And the ace is going to ace of spades does the business.
There's a song in that, Leigh.
Definitely is a song in that, Des. I agree.
So, guys, Rob Gray in seat 3, Patrick Hudson in 4, Steve Johnson gone now, Dave Wise in 6, Gerard Bennett in 8, and Glenn 10, as his recently acquired fan club is calling him. Glenn Davidge, seat 9.
Right, let me see if I can get this so the camera back up and running for you.
Yeah, thank you, Leigh. So we're going to see a flop here. I think this is Patrick against.
Yeah, the board is the board is King Deuce 10, and it's a check from Patrick, check from Glenn. So they're going to see the 3 of spades on the turn here.
We get a call.
Yeah, ace of spades on the river.
Glenn's going to take another pop at this.
And it's 1.6 million is the bet, and Patrick decides to fold.
Very nice.
Yeah, and so Glenn scoops a few more chips in.
Can't do any wrong at the moment, Glenn.
Absolutely not.
You have to say Patrick's brought his stacking A game for the second part of this final table, Leigh. Nice construction there. Bit Notre Dame-like.
Yeah, he's in a good place though, isn't he, at the moment?
So what's the plan for turn, Leigh, tomorrow morning?
Yeah, that's the plan, yeah.
Avoiding the temptation to drive down tonight with your head out the window at 4 a.m.
No, we are booked into the hotel for tonight, and we will be, very much getting some sleep before driving back.
Yeah, good.
So it's Patrick and Glenn again. They're going to be a board of 6, 7 ace. We may have to just stick with this mobile camera, Des, because this other one is just dying on me power wise, and I can't get it to it. So unless we get on a break and I can properly try and have a look at it, it's just not having any of it. So we'll go with the one for the time being. I'll keep you up to date on what's going on. To be honest, it's just flowing with how the weekend's gone. So so no bother from that point of view.
On the plus side, Leigh, your banner work has worked flawlessly.
yeah. We're looking good from that point of view. But we're 5-handed left anyway here at Coventry. This is the APAT Open Championship for 2023. 460 runners started yesterday, and we are down to the final 5 now. And one of these 5, Robert, Patrick, David, Gerard, and Glenn. One of these 5, and it's David who's all in. After a raise from 600,000 by Patrick on the button, David has gone all in. Decision on Gerard first of all, who's in the big blind, right of your screen here. And he says I'm all in. Patrick gets out of the way, so I think it's not a lot between them, to be honest. It's Queen Jack of diamonds for David, and it's Ace 10 for Gerard. So here we go. There's not stack wise. We'll have to work it out. Ace, Deuce, 6, 1 diamond, 9 spades, and the king, which means it's Ace 10. It's going to take that. We're just going to count it up. We think. Dealey, you know the denominations, yeah?
I think I heard a call of about that many, Leigh.
The count was 2,670,000. Tom is nodding. Yeah. And David is going to have a few chips back. They shake hands anyway. And David's got back about 600,000, maybe something like that. Yeah. So he's still in, but with blinds at 120,000, 250,000. Yeah, it's going to be
on the
very
back of
much
that,
the
Leigh.
case. Yeah.
Do we have any sense of what the chip counts are, roughly?
We
maybe the players
did a little while ago. Yeah, I can try and work it out. So I'll have a go. Let me see if I can tell you the 2 big stacks, that's for sure, because Patrick is one of those. And Patrick has got let's see, 10, 16. Patrick's playing about 17 mil.
He's going to be chippy. He's going to be chippy.
And Patrick now says, I think it's more than that. I've just roughly gone, they're roughly in 20s, and it's roughly that. How much do you think it is, Patrick? So 19 in a bit. 19 and some change. So, okay, 19 and some change. Patrick's on about 19 million.
And we've got about 46 in play, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Glenn, how much do you think you're playing there, roughly? That's fine. Don't worry. No, you play a game. That's fine. Robert's playing about 6.5, so that's 7 million. And Tom's just an account on Glenn. We think it's about 13 million, which will leave Gerard with what was left of that. But we know he just doubled up, didn't we? So so we got that. Yeah, we got that. So he doubled up with about two point something. So there you go. That's roughly where we're at. Yeah. So 30 million of the 46 million in play is, or a bit more than that actually. 32 million of the 46 million plays between Patrick and Glenn at the moment. So on we go. Glenn's on the button this time, and it's Robert in the small blind, Patrick in the big blind, David folds, as does Gerard, as does Glenn. So just the blind instead.
It's a walk.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Just a note from Leigh. Any news of APATers in the seniors side event? So we know that Michelle cashed. Any APATers on that final table?
Not on the final table. No, I'm looking across, and I don't recognise anybody on the final table. So no. So Gerard limps, and Patrick's going to make up the small blind. Decision for David in the big, who I think is all in anyway, for maybe less than the big blind. They've called it anyway. So there's three of them going to see a board here. Yeah, so we're going to see the board. So it's 6-3 Queen, and bet from Patrick 250,000. It's Queen 7. Glenn's, I thought we were going to do, we might be checking this down. Ace 9 which is at risk, and 9 on the river is 9, but it's going to see David depart in 5th place, and we're going to be 4-handed here, Des.
Well, lucky David,
So,
good effort.
Very well done to David. Yeah. Really enjoyable having David on the table. Really great run. Got a decent rail here, David. There we go. So everyone congratulating him for his 5th place finish. And we're 4-handed.
Medal bubble alert, Leigh. Medal bubble alert.
Yeah, absolutely. So raise from Gerard and the small blind, I think that got that through.
Peter King remembers that David rivered him when he was all in with Ace Jack against Peter King's jacks. Obviously,
Oh, wow, okay.
David still in the tourney up to this point. Say, Leigh, we've all got to catch a card now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the way it's got to be. So Robert's folded, as does Patrick here, and yeah, I think Glenn gets a walk on that one.
Zolt is out there. Zolt Burkus. Bubble time. I've got embarrassing memories. I think I remember Zolt. But Zolt, did he have a deep run at DTD, Leigh? I seem to remember Zolt.
Tell you who I met yesterday, Des, for the first time.
Yeah.
Ducatidi.
So sorry, say that again.
I met yesterday.
Who?
I met Ducatidi yesterday.
Who's Ducatidi?
Ducatidi.
No, doesn't ring any bells.
Yeah, so for the whole of an online tournament, pretty much, a little while ago, I was pronouncing a name on GG as Ducatidi.
Oh, you're talking about Ducati Die.
Ducati Die.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Ducatidi,
absolutely.
Right. Got it.
Yeah,
Lovely.
She was telling me she found it very amusing.
I'm not surprised.
That we were doing that. Well, I say we. I say we. It was pretty much me. So that's fine.
And how was Ducati Die? Without doubt, the best player in her house. That's what I hear.
She was delightful, and
good.
And we've got a raise here from Patrick, who's made it 600,000, and Gerard has gone all in. Patrick's asked for a count and says, "I'm going to call." So it's Ace King for Gerard. It's Ace Jack for Patrick. It's the Ace King that's at risk. King in a window, along with the Jack, though.
Oh, hello. 10.
Ooh, man, they chop it up.
Blimey,
chop it up.
Look at the state of that.
Patrick bangs the table like he just, just won the tournament. Quite happy to see that. And, saves doubling up Gerard. So they chop it up.
When it's your day.
We'll go again.
When it's your day, Leigh, it's your day. And listen, I can't take credit for this, but Simon did raise a titter at my end when he said only Des could get away with advertising GG Poker in a Grosvenor venue on their biggest weekend of the year, I would say. I'm not sure I can take the credit for that one, Leigh. I think I'd leave that with you and Tom.
We might have just made it happen. Yeah. That's all good.
Nice work, sir.
We're all friends. We're all friends here, aren't we? So that's what it's all about. Basically, it's UK poker collaborating. That's what 2023 has been all about, and it's great to see. basically growing the game for all. We've quite happily promoted Goliath for the event in the weeks building up to this, and openly talked about it. And I was lucky enough to be on the stream with Tower yesterday for 5 minutes or so, and chatting about what's going on with APAT. So all's good in the world.
Fantastic.
The players are loving it.
The industry looks in rude health, Leigh. The game seems to be in a really good spot at the moment.
Yeah, I think it is. It's all coming together quite nicely, isn't it?
Ducker TD. Wow. That is a memory.
But yeah, really nice to meet Di for the first time. Had a good chat with her about poker and about APAT.
Was Eddie down,
general?
Leigh?
Yeah, Eddie was playing. Yeah, he was.
Good.
Right. See if I can get the other camera completely died. Battery. I'm trying to see if I can get it charged back up so we can get it going again.
I'll tell you what, Leigh, you're talking about other cameras. Thoughts and prayers for Rob's phone there. It looks like it's had a difficult life.
Yeah.
Look at the state of that.
That's a little bit. Yeah, so it's Patrick and Gerard in this hand. Board is Deuce Jack 7. Raise from Patrick, all in from Gerard. Wow. Quick call from Patrick. It's King Deuce for Gerard. It's Jack 7 for Patrick. It's the King Deuce at risk. Here we go.
It's going to be a king or a deuce.
Not going to be, and we're going to lose. Gerard in 4th place. We've got our medalist. There's Gerard. Great run from him. Came into the final table as our chip leader, and it just didn't quite go for him today. Tried to make it work. Did as much as he could. Lots of hands, just didn't really play. Very good run for him. Finished in 4th place. We've got our medalist. Very well done to him, and we'll get him sorted out. Paid it now. TD's on his way over to do that, and we've got 3 left. So
there's your medalists. Well done to the guys. Let's see if we can show you what we're talking about. That is what an APAT medal looks like. Gold, silver, and bronze to be decided now. In addition to a very tasty top of the prize pool, 7.5K up top.
Absolutely. So it's 2,850, I think it is, for third, 4,500 for second, and 7,500 up top. And of course, the APAT medals, all important. So it's either going to be Robert, Patrick, or Glenn are going to be our Open champion for 2023.
Is Glenn sat there in short pants, Leigh? Is he sat there in short pants? Can we just check the rules to see if that's allowed?
He's doing cold because it's quite cold in here. Actually, the aircon is pumping away. So it's yeah.
I'll tell you what, if he wasn't sporting a beard there, Leigh, we'd want to see an over proof of being over 18. He sat there in short pants.
So we have just jumped a level. So blinds will be up to 150, 300,000. I don't think they've got them in on this. We'll have a look. But meanwhile, Patrick and Glenn are busy building a pot here. The board is 3596. Let's go and check on that turn. Deuce on the river. And Patrick says ace high. Glenn says they've got a 3. 3 is going to be good enough to do it. And
Patrick has a serious
popping medals on. Yeah. So because we started a level, they're going to play this at 40 minutes, and then it will go to a 20-minute clock after that. So blinds are now 150,000, 300,000 with a big blind ante of 300,000. We just started the level, so they'll play this level and then make it a 20-minute clock then. Yeah. So.
Oh, I'll tell you, Zolt is saying, my memories from DTD this year. This was the UK's Leigh. Zolt went deep on day 2. Flopped a straight with a 9 and a 5 against a Jack. The board was 5, 6, 7. The turn was a 6. The river was a 6. Yikes. Full house for the Jacks. Nasty.
Wow. So the medals are on the table. Tom's just confirmed to the players that say after this level, it will go down to a 20-minute clock. They just started this level as we bust the players. So they're going to get to play another 40-minute level. Robert didn't seem overly happy about that. So when's it going to go to 20-minute clock? Of course, he's the short.
It's got somewhere to go.
I understand. He's the short stacker. He's the short stack of the 3, isn't he? So yeah.
Steve here is congratulating Glenn on bringing a second APAT medal back to Hastings. Nice result for indeed. Hastings Poker.
So we've got a board here, 9, 7, 7, ace. Strong check this time, and it's going to be a 10 on the river. And you have to trust me on that. I'm not going to walk over. It's 9-4 for Robert, Jack 9 for Patrick, which means I think, the Jack's gonna. The Jack's gonna play. It's a pair of 7s, isn't it? So it's gonna be chopped up. So. Patrick quite vocal on this final table. Asking what his image looks like here. It's Patrick with all the chips here. Really very much dominating this. Having bust Gerard as well, adding to his stacks. No, it's a raise from Robert, small blind. Makes it 1.45. Sorry, 950,000. And Patrick has a little think there, Des, and then decides, nah, not this time, not this one.
Obviously didn't want to upset Tom, who'd just been doing a chip count.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to try and get the green chips removed off the table because they don't need it to be here. Although I don't know how we're going to do that because it looks like it's us running it. So there's no chips about anyway. So we'll try and see if we can do that.
So Paul Kent, brilliant. Keep it up, Glenn. Jobby, let's go, Glenn 10. So definitely it's Glenn's rail that is the loudest out here, Leigh.
Yeah, so just to be clear, the guys now have locked up £2,850. It's 4,500 for second and 7,500 for first. Chip wise, we reckon Robert is about 7 million now. Patrick is 30 million, and we think Glenn is about 10 million. So that's the which actually adds up to 47 million. But Tom's maths was never the greatest thing. He says it's tax. Says it's tax. So yeah. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. So very much 30 million, 30 of the 46 million chips in play belong to Patrick. And yeah, it's kind of his to, well, not his to lose here, but certainly it's his to carry on applying the pressure and see what you can do. Glenn looks fairly chilled on his phone, sat there relaxed. So on we go. It's Patrick's button this time. So it's Glenn in small blind and it's Robert in the big blind. And raise from Patrick and gets it through.
Just looking at Patrick's Hendon Mobley. So, you know, not a prolific winner by any means. I think he, just over $6,000 worth of winnings. He had an APAT WCOAP main event cash 64th back in 2013. A little bit at DTD. He's got a UKIPT side event cash as well. Most recent cash, July 22, a 56th place at the UKIPT in Nottingham, the UKIPT Mini. So, you know, some experience, been playing clearly for quite some time. It's done superbly well today, you'd have to say. But no big cashes, so to speak.
So Robert raises it up to 675,000, which is going to get called by Patrick. So two of them are going to see the flop here. And it's Queen, Deuce, King, Rainbow. That's got Robert firing out another bet. 800,000 was the bet this time. Called by Patrick. So we'll see a turn here, and it's the 8 of diamonds. So that is the full-on rainbow board now. One spade, one heart, one club, one diamond. And it looks like Robert is counting out another bet here. There's a 500k chip at the bottom of that stack and a load of oranges. And he's added a few blues on top as well for good measure. If he counts it out again.
Sounds like the man from Del Monte there, Lee.
It's not enough. It's not enough. He's put another orange in, taking a blue back, and now he's happy. So we'll see how much it is. Okay, I'm not going to get it C, so left it in stack. I'm going to say that's roughly 1.25 million.
You can't be liking this, Rob.
And Patrick counts out 1.25 million. How good am I? Honestly, seriously, should do this for a living. And so it's a 10 on the on the river. Let me show you what the board looks like now in its entirety. There we go. So Queen, Deuce, King, 8, 10.
Well, I tell you what, if he hasn't got it, this is gutsy.
It's 2,250,000.
Patrick doesn't like the look of that.
Says I don't really like the river.
What have you got to be sat with? I mean, ace Jack, Jack 9, unlikely.
asked how much again. So it was 2,250,000. Board is Queen, Deuce, King, 8, 10.
So we're probably putting Patrick on maybe a queen.
Makes the call. It's King 6 for Robert. It's King 6.
Wow.
King 6 for Patrick. They're now both calling each other sickos. Yeah. So I mean, it's great.
Wow.
It's great betting from Robert, and it's a great call from Pat. I mean, it's just good. It's just good all round, isn't it? It's just good all round.
Wowzers.
Patrick said you're a sicko, and he said, "Well, you made the call," says Robert. Yeah, you're a sicko too. You're like, with what was effectively a pair of kings.
Well,
I mean, great play for both of them. What a hand!
Yeah,
what a hand.
a little bit of relief from both of them there. Tia Hill is out there, Leigh. First time at Goliath this year was a fantastic experience. APAT was my first deep stack tournament. Loved every second of it. Made it to day 2. Unfortunately, my bullets got killed against Queen 10. Ouch.
Oh,
ouch.
Yeah, that's horrible. That is horrible. But made day 2, so banked a bit of money. So that's
glad
nice.
you enjoyed
well
it, Tia. Very good.
Very well done indeed.
And Glenn's rail is growing. David Dow, great stuff. Glenn, take it down. And Keith Cameron, go on, Glenn, take it down.
He's got a little bit of work to do, but he's on about 10 million, we reckon. And Patrick there has got 30 million, and Robert's got about 6 or 7. So that's the chips stack as it stands after they just chop that one up. So, and these are our medalists. It's the APAT Open Championship. These are our medalists.
Was that Brian Yates again?
No, it's my friend from earlier on. I'm sure he's doing it on purpose. So these are our medalists. So the guys already locked up £2,850 for third place. Then it's 4,500 for second and 7,500 up top. 460 runners took part yesterday, and 68 came back for day 2. And this is the final 3 of those.
Would you say we'd reached business time, Leigh?
Very much business time.
Shall we do it?
It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
Oh dear.
There we go again. So Glenn and Robert in this hand. Board is 765. Glenn's checked that board, and so does Robert. So they're going to see another 5 on the turn. Nothing of much excitement there, but it's got Glenn bets out $1 million into this. There's probably about 1.7 in the middle, so it was a bit of a raise pre that I missed whilst we were looking at business time.
Gets it through,
and yeah, it gets it through. And Robert shows an ace, but says no, not having that side. I'm going to assume, looking at that, probably from where it was, that Robert raised pre. Glenn made the call out the big blind, and check the flop, and then on the turn pops a little bet in, and Robert's missed with his ace whatever, and on we go.
Leigh, are you telling us that you're watching this poker tournament through the terribly small screen that you've got on your gimbal?
What do you mean?
I thought you said I missed that because of business time. Are you actually watching along with the folks at home on your screen?
No, but it was business time was on the screen. You're not going to not watch that, are you? I mean, like it's
It's a legendary clip.
Miss that.
It has to be said.
I was going to say, you don't want to miss that.
It's like you remind me of a fan at football, you know? It's just holding up the phone all the time.
I'm being funny. Everything stops for business time.
Well,
I mean, that's how it works. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I stopped when I took the original photo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So here we go. Next hand, and it's going to be the same players again. Seeing a flop. It's Ace, Jack, Deuce with a couple of hearts out there. 300,000 to bet from Glenn straight away. Blind on blind this time. Glenn the small blind, and it's Robert's big blind. Rob makes the call though, so that's going to put about 1.2 million in the middle. It's the 9 of diamonds on the turn. Is Glenn going to fire out again? He does. 1.1 million this time. Very quick fold this time from Robert. Doesn't mess about. Gets out of the way of that. So that's a couple of hands that Glenn just won against Robert there. Robert obviously was about 7 million. Glenn about 10. So he's probably picked up maybe 1.5 million from Robert maybe there. In those two hands alone. Yeah, I would say so because I think Robert's down now, maybe just under 6 mil. Looking at his stacks, so yeah.
Abby Dave is giving this to Patrick already. 2023 winner, gold medal. He's still got a way to go, but Abby Dare, I should say, not Abby Dave, Abby Dare. But looking good, Abby. We have to say your prediction is looking good.
Picturing him top of the podium with the national anthem playing, all good. Him whistling along quite happily, yeah. So next hand, Glenn folded the button here. So let's see what Robert's going to do from the small blind. He raises it up to 975,000. Blinds are 150, 300,000 at the moment. Patrick has a little think about it. Yeah, not getting involved this time. And on we'll go.
Who's going to change their game here, Lee? Who's going to change their game?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Somebody's got to do something, right? Patrick's just too far ahead, chip-wise, unless somebody tries to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to know what to do. And of course, it also depends a bit what the prize money means to players. Just watching a flop here, which is going to be Patrick and Glenn. So they're going to see ace, queen, queen with a couple of clubs out there. It'll be Patrick to back first. He just bets 300,000. It was raised pre, so it was a pre-raise to 800,000 was the pre-raise. It's been called by Glenn. So we're going to see 6 of hearts on the turn. So it's ace, queen, queen, 6 now. Action back on Patrick.
Has Patrick just abandoned those greens over there? He's just abandoned them.
Yeah, they're just there for show. Yeah. 1 million is the bet from Patrick. And raised up to 2.3 million by Glenn. And Patrick very quickly folds. Well, does that answer your question?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Good play.
Yeah, whether he had it or didn't have it doesn't matter. Yet decided that's the point to be aggressive. And what I would say, Patrick's been really, really good at this final table. He's I feel it feels like he knows where he's at in most of these hands that he's been playing. I don't know what you feel from watching it, but that's the way it's come across to me. He knows where he's at. No issue there. Asks the question, gets an answer, works away, and lets him go. Not a problem whatsoever.
I tell you what, Lee, though, what I don't think we've seen on this final is any, we haven't seen any 3-betting or 4-bet. We have, it's been a pretty passive final table, I think, in some respects.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of hands that have just collided. We have had, that has been the case. Yeah, very much. Yeah.
But it's nice to see, Glenn risking it there, because that felt like a risk. I mean, it wasn't an overbet by any means. It was just a tiny re-raise, but it was enough to take it. And I think, the message there is you don't have to put your stack at risk to, potentially win some hands against Patrick.
Absolutely.
He's sensible enough to let them go.
Yeah. And very next hand there, Patrick just raises it up out of the button, gets that through, and on we go. Yeah. So, but they just again, just kind of just straight away next hand. It's like, all right, I'm still, I'm still chip leader here. And you're gonna have to work if you want to get my chips off me.
Yeah. Listen, big update here from Steve. Shout out to big Luke Hurrin on making the final table of Goliath Cup. Another representing Hastings Bexhill. Great job. Very nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Superb.
Matt Smith,
big money there.
If Pat wins this, he's the type of guy to wear his medal to work. Yes, please. We need to see that picture. Please make that happen if he wins it. Steve Gibbs, great showing. Tony McAfee Williams, let's go Glen 10. And Jason, still out there. Nice play, Glen 10. Tell us, guys, Glen 10, why? Why the 10? What's the 10 on the end? Do I remember a Ben 10? Was that a sort of a cartoon character, Ben 10? Does that make sense?
Maybe. So next hand, it's Robert's button this time. So it's Patrick in the small blind, Glenn in the big blind. So Robert decided what he wants to do. There's the short stack of the 3.
There's a mini tornado by one of our banners there, Lee. It's moving about like crazy.
Tom is repositioning.
Oh, gotta love that.
And so it's a raise from Robert, makes it 950,000. He likes his 50s on the end, does Robert. And it's going to get a call from Glenn out of the big blind. So 2 players to see a flop. And it's Jack 7-7. Check from Glenn. See there, Robert just has another look at his card. And he makes it 700,000. And Glenn folds.
I have to say, Lee, we're 2 hours 43 minutes into this final table, and I mean, it's not unusual. We normally see our final tables go about 5 hours. I think it's going to be finished long before then. Maybe I'm tempting fate here, but
no, I would tend to agree. We were working on. We thought we finished here by about 1 o'clock. We thought, and actually, but that was on the basis we thought the final table would be starting around 9, and that was a little bit earlier. So yeah, so I don't think this will be. This is going to be much past the next hour or so. Could be even quicker than that with the cards that have matched up, because I don't think these guys are afraid of getting the chips in the middle. So
agree.
There's not going to be a huge amount of worry there. Raise from Glenn out of the small blind makes it 750,000. Just going high whilst the rail comes past. There we go. Right. Okay. There's also a staff party stroke tournament going on. I think the staff final table has now moved in here as well. This could get very rowdy now. By the looks of it, Frankie's busy taking a photo over there. Well, I'm assuming it's the staff final table. Let me see if I can pan over and let you see over the far side there. Can you see that happening over there?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, and I like that. Great that there's a staff tourney at the end of the festival. They've worked hard. Obviously, a lot of them will enjoy the game, and good that they're getting their moment to shine.
Yeah, really nice. There might have been 1 or 2 beers drunk in there as well. Music and everything, Des. There was all sorts going on, honestly. So I think with the senior in here, the turbo had already come to a conclusion. I don't know where Goliath is now. They were playing out. The sounds that you said they'd done a deal and were playing out.
Yeah,
so
it sounded like they were up to heads up.
Yeah, I'm assuming that could mean that arena area might be pretty much empty now. I mean,
Yeah.
what we might do is I might try once we're done here, see if I can quickly take a wander through and you can see what's left going on there. But meanwhile, this is all happening pre here, and it was a limp from Glenn, and Robert made up this small blind, so Patrick has raised it up to 1.5 million out of the big blind, and the other two get out of the way. So again, not wanting to play with the chip leader.
I think Rob's big result, Leigh, if I've got the correct Hendon mob here, going back to 2010, was a Super 50. So at Dustle Dawn, the 50 plus 6 buy-in. In 2010, he won that for just under £4,000. So outside
Nice,
of
very
that,
nice indeed.
you know, a small
Yeah.
number of results at both Dustle Dawn and the Broadway. But, you know, to win a Super 50, very nice, 10K guaranteed in that particular event back in the day.
So a second place finish here would be his best live cash then.
If I'm looking at the right data.
Yeah. So he folds his button, which means it's going to be Patrick on the small blind. Glenn is in the big, and Patrick raises it up to 800,000, maybe. Yeah, it is, and gets a call from Glenn out of the big blind. So the two, bigger stack are going to see a board of deuce 6-10. Bet again from Patrick. 600,000 gets very quickly called by Glenn. So we're going to see a turn card here. And it's the 9 of spades. Check this time. And Glenn's going to reach for some chips and makes it 1.2 million and instant fold from Patrick. That's back to what we were talking about earlier on there, Des.
Yeah. So Leigh, just looking at Hendon mob again, and this time for Glenn. So Glenn is actually the most winnings of the remaining three players. So he's got $20,000 that he's banked on the Hendon mob. First cash recorded was back in 2011 down in Brighton at a £100 sort of buy-in that he finished third in. But he's got some UKIP side event results as well. And his most recent cash was in 2019, a £480 MPN tour in London. So, yeah, some nice results from Glenn.
Very nice. Yeah. I might have got that wrong. Well, I thought might have been the staff event. It might actually be the Goliath Cup final table. I'm not sure. They've now put the Goliath Cup clock in here as well. So I don't know whether what's going on there, but we've now got 3 clocks on our screen. So it's getting to the end of the week here at Goliath, and they're clearing out the arena so they can clear all of the tables out of that, and obviously give the arena back for tomorrow morning. So that's the aim, I think.
Makes good sense.
So board here is 366, and it's Patrick and Glenn again. Glenn's bet out 600,000 here, which I think is going to get a re-raise from Patrick this time. Patrick makes it 2.4, yeah, and this time Glenn folds. So vice versa to the last hand.
So, Leigh, a couple of things for you. Darren's out there saying Glenn's only 10, hence the shorts. That's why he's Glenn 10. It makes perfect sense. Forget the wispy beard. He's only 10. And Alan, maybe you can help Alan with this, Leigh. What's the top prizes? So £7,500 up top, 4,500 for second. And third,
exactly
we weren't...
that. 2,850. So they've already locked up to 850.
There we go.
They've locked up to 850, and then it's 4,500 for second and 7.5 up top, and obviously the bronze, silver, and gold medals. Prize pool of 46,000 in this one. It was 100 plus 20 was the buy-in, 460 runners in total. 68 made day 2, bagged up chips, therefore all in the money, and they all
Nice.
got paid. Minimum cash was £200. And everyone on this final table picked up at least £1,000.
Really nice. And Harry is just updating, apparently, the Goliath Cup. There was a deal done just shy of 20k each.
That would explain why that came in and cleared through and has now been done and now is now gone. So that explains all of that. Yeah, that explains that one. Which means, in which case, then I'm assuming, was that the more bringing their chips they've done? No, I think that could be the staff tournament maybe over there. That could well be, quite possibly. There's photos going on. I'm not sure whether it's photo, unless it's they needed a photo of a winner. Maybe it's a photo of a winner, and that's what they agreed. Yeah, actually, that could be that they brought them all in here, and then they agreed a deal. I think that could be what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's weird. They brought all the chip stacks through to this final table here, and they're now stacking, traying them up. So yeah, obviously
they're not playing it out, Leigh.
deal.
They didn't leave anything up top.
No, it looks like they Frankie snapped a picture of a winner with the biggest chips, and that's them done. I think.
Okay.
By the looks of it.
So
Tom's grinning. I don't know what he's grinning at, but it was the
no cup in the Grosvenor Cup or the Goliath Cup.
I don't think there's a cup in the Goliath Cup. I don't think there is. So,
Blimey,
yeah.
That's trading standards, that, Leigh.
Yeah, it's
Some
outrageous.
players only play for the trophy.
It's all about the bling.
It's all about the bling.
So we're finally getting rid of those green chips. Because the seniors' final table is on break at the moment, so we're just going to.
Bit late to have the seniors on, Leigh.
So this is the confusion. So the TD is coming to clear the green chips off, and he's bringing 50k back chips in to change them up, and has now been told, but they're not 50k chips, they're 500k chips, and he's gone, oh right, okay.
Detail.
So yeah, we were about to add a couple of million more to the stats here. I mean, yeah, just nuts, absolutely nuts. But that's where we're at. I get the impression he's just buying them up and not even racing them off. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. We'll let him do it whilst the hand is in play. So raise from Robert to 2.6 million being called by Glenn. So the two of them are going to see a flop here, Des, and it's going to be 769 Rainbow. Glenn says, how much have you got roughly? And Robert says about 2.5 million. About 3 million, says Robert. So it's 3 million plus what he's got in front, which might be another 500,000. So Glenn checks. So Robert says I'm all in. And Glenn very quickly folds, and on we go.
Luke and Glenn Dooner's proud lead the South Coasters coming again. And Alan says, the guy with the hat, so that would be Rob Gray, was on my Joker's Wild table. He was very funny. It's good to hear. a relatively quiet final table, Leigh, hasn't it? I mean, there hasn't been a huge amount of banter or.
No, Patrick's been quite
It's
chatty.
played in good
And the
spirit.
questions,
It has to be
questions have been
said.
asked at the right time. But it's just gone about its business, isn't it? Really. So on we go, and it's Glenn on the button this time. We're the top one now. Yeah. So we're about 30 seconds away from the levels going up. So this will probably be our last hand at this level.
Leigh, I'm going to tee this up for you. Alan asks, when's the next APAT? I think I might play
The
it.
next APAT.
Blimey, it's a big one. It's a big one.
Whilst we got a hand coming out, play it, Des, play it.
Play it? Well, what am I playing, Leigh?
You're not playing it. You're just going to say it. So that's all you're putting up. Is it? Okay.
That's it. That's the lot.
That's me talking then, is it? So it is our World Championship of Amateur Poker 2023. It is 25 bracelet events being held at Dusty Dillon. 23 of those are live events. 2 of them will be online with GG Poker. Although the dates there says it starts on Wednesday the 23rd, it does. That's when we're at Dust Till Dawn. But actually, 2 weeks today will be the first live day one at Dust Till Dawn, and then we've got 2 online day ones on the Monday and Tuesday on GG Poker, and then we will be at Dust Till Dawn for 6 days of live poker with 23 bracelet events getting played out across those days. Buy-ins from £60 right up to 180 for our main event. So we have got a high roller at 340 as well. If you want to get into the main event, number of day ones where you can play live at Dust Till Dawn. But we also have 2 online ones with GG where there is no reg fee. So if you fancy having a shot at getting into the day 2 where you'll be in the money with World Championships, try it out on GG. For no reg fee on the Monday and Tuesday beforehand. But really looking forward to it. We will be rammed out at Dust Till Dawn. Yeah. So really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Cannot
so
wait.
We're now down to a 20-minute clock. So we're now level 31. Blinds are going to be 200,000, 400,000 with a running ante of 400,000. Which is being paid by the big blind, and a raise to 800,000 from Patrick here out of the button. Gets called by Glenn in the small blind. It's only 400,000 more for Robert in the big. He's already posted the big blind ante as well, and he's stack wise he is the short stack here, but not interested. The other 2 are therefore going to see a board which is King 7 Ace. Check from Glenn. The bet is 600,000 from Patrick, and that gets through. So our chip leader adds to his chips.
So Alan is willing to do it, Leigh. He's going to play, but he's wondering whether it's a Sunday or Monday for day 2. Oh, crikey. I mean, what, 23, 25 bracelet events? You've got an array of finishing days. The main event will finish on a Monday. The bank holiday Monday, though.
Yeah, so it will. So the day 2 is on the Sunday, and then we will bring back the likely to be the final table on the Monday for day 3, which is the bank holiday Monday. Yeah.
But I tell you what, Leigh, it's worth keeping in mind. Winner of the main event will walk away with something looking very much like that.
Yeah, very nice indeed. It's our main event bracelet, bespoke designed every year. So raised from Glenn on the button to $1 million, and it's been called by Robert in the small blind. Big blind, Patrick, out of the way. Doesn't want to pay the extra 600,000. The board is King 6. Goes check, ace on the turn. $1 million bet from Glenn. Gets called by Robert. I mean, Robert's kind of feeling committed into this now. It's a 3 on the river. And Robert makes a bet of 900,000. Decision on Glenn. And he elects and goes. It says I like the bet. I mean, it felt, I don't know about you, Des, but it felt value to me. I don't know about you.
Oh, I think Glenn would probably pay a few extra chips just to get a sense of what those two cards in Rab's hands were.
You sort of agree? Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? We're just trying to sort out why they seem to chip off Patrick's green chips and then I've left the other two players' green chips there. And yeah, it's late. It's late on at Goliath here. So yeah. So on we go. I've got this feeling we're going to see some cards collide here in a minute. This is going to it's going to going to inevitably happen.
Oh.
So 900,000 is a bet from Robert out of the button. Gets called by Glenn in the big blind. Patrick out the way in the small blind. So two of them are going to see a flop here. And it's 3, 6, 4 with 2 diamonds. Check from Glenn, check from Robert. So we'll see the Queen of Diamonds on the turn. Robert bets 800,000, maybe 9. 9. Call from Robert.
This is interesting.
Yeah, Ace of Hearts on the river. And the bet is 1.7 million from Glenn. Robert says I'm all in.
And lets it go quickly.
Robert's gone all in and Glenn holds. Gets a round of applause from Robert's rail.
You've been right about Glenn, though, Leigh. No matter the decision, he acts quickly.
Yeah, very much so.
So he's either super clear on where he is in the hand or he's super focused on his own hand and not his opponent's hand. I'm sure it isn't that. But
Yeah.
he does act super quickly. Kevin Aird is out there, Leigh. Good luck to Wee Rab, who is a WLPL regular. Very good.
We're just rating off these greens. So there's one. There's going to be one more 25k chip to come. One of them's going to get it. It's going to be Glenn. There you go. So not that it makes a massive difference at this point in the tournament, but get rid of those pesky greens. That's that sorted. That's why you get Joe to do a job, because it gets sorted. So well done to him.
Joe, of course, long-time APATer.
Yeah, very much so. I think they're just handing the TDing over to the night shift.
Right.
So the rest of the staff can go and enjoy the party.
Are you going, Leigh? Are you going?
Mm.
Are you going?
Tom's already in party mood. Want to see Tom in party mood?
Yeah, go on. There he is. There he is. Look at him. He's given up on his entire day.
Literally. That is Tom in party mood. That's it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So we've got a board of 6-5-8 here. It's gone check 7 on the turn. Glenn checks again. Decision on Robert. He checks as well. So we're going to see a queen on the river. And goes check, and Robert shows 8-3 for another one there.
Quietly, he's at a sterling level, Rab here, Leigh.
Yeah, he has the call on the rail here was keep them coming, Rab, keep them coming. Yeah.
And you know what? You just get a sense that Patrick is sort of stepping back a little bit and saying, right, let the two lads have at it. Let's see if either of them damages the other, because he hasn't seemed that interested over the last 10 or 15 hands or so.
No, he's gone a little bit quiet here, but you can just have a case of you just go pretty much card dead or whatever, and just go
cards,
okay,
right?
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen, and of course, if you've got one or the other of them here, I mean, he's in such a dominant position.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. Yeah.
Whereas if these two go at it and clash, all of a sudden they're going to end up then with a stack, which is going to be about. It's only going to be a 2-1 chip lead, going into heads up. So yeah, it's a massive difference from being a 2-1 chip lead to what near a 4.5, 5. 5-1 chip lead.
Absolutely. Listen, Kevin, if you're still out there, tell us, what is the WLPL? Would love to know. I'm guessing PL is Poker League.
I'm going to guess
West Livingston or West Lothian or
the West
maybe?
Something Poker League. Yeah.
Because the Hastings, Bexhill lads, the Bexley lads, the the WLPL in all of these groups should be looking at the APAT UK Team Championship, which is continually way oversubscribed every year. Comes up every January, February.
Yeah.
400-500 players rock up
It will
at
be
DTD.
well. It will be January this year. I'm pretty sure. Say this year, I should say 2024. Next carnation of it. All in the call. It's Ace 10 versus Jack 9. And it's going to be the ace that hits the heart, should I say? But
wow!
But doesn't get there, and it's a Jack 9 of Glenn that is going to depart. And there you go, from a hand that hits. So we lose Glenn in third place. He's going to pick up a bronze medal. We'll sort out a photo and get his money done. Very well done to him.
Well played to Glenn. Yeah, superb effort.
Very, very well played to Glenn. So we've got our heads up. We've got our heads up, and it is going to be Patrick versus Rab. Heads up. We'll just get this photo in here and get this one in.
Is Tom both taking the photo and presenting the medal?
He's going to present
there he is.
and
Look
take
at that.
photo.
There you go.
There he goes. That is the skill of what you get.
Well done to Glenn. He takes another medal to the South Coast. And Leigh, Jack 9, his hand of the final table didn't work out from there at the end.
Yeah, it's not. Nah, it's. So the guys are just going on for a very quick 5-minute break before we play out this heads up. So we will do what we did before, Des. We'll just pop on mute. We'll just pop on here, but it literally is going to be a 5-minute break. So Thomas just made it clear they will be starting again back at midnight.
Fantastic.
So 5-minute break. We'll count up the chips as well to give you guys know where we're at. But we're 5 minutes and we'll be back.
What is Talk Club? Talk Club is a talking and listening community for men. A mental fitness movement, like going to the gym, but for your mind. It helps you check in with how you feel and own it. It's all based around how are you out of 10 and explaining why. So, how does it work? It begins online. Go to talkclub.org, join the online community and find a club near you. Groups are held in private areas of public spaces where men feel comfortable, like above pubs or gyms. There are normally 8 to 10 men to a talk. The captain leads the group and reminds everyone to switch off their phones, to respect each other and give no advice. Everything stays confidential between the group. There's a talking ball so everyone can take their turn to talk, and most importantly, not talk over each other. Each man talks while everyone else listens and then passes the ball on to the next man. The captain begins with "How are you?" out of 10, 1 being low, 10 being on top of the world. Then try and explain why. After everyone has talked, we then move on to the second round. What are the positives in your life? What moments from the last week are you really grateful for? Family, job, hobby. Then it's, what are your plans for mental fitness this week? Sleep, diet, exercise. And then before we finish, checkout numbers. What are you now? This helps us to see that we can feel lighter than when we started. But it doesn't end there. You might want to join a talk and move group where you check in, do exercise, then check out. Or at the other end of the scale, need to talk more. We now have Talk Club group therapy run by qualified therapists. Talk, Move, Therapy. Join us at talkclub.org.
I'm not going to have a ton of bluffs, so I definitely need to size down. When you have very little bluffs, you want to size down because you can fit in all of your bluffs with your value range comfortably without a big bet size.
I had been banding about in my mind over creating a really long form vlog for this World Series.
We have a Bundesliga professional footballer in there. I'm not going to say any more, but he plays in the Bundesliga.
I mean, the last tournament I played was the £1 million buy-in that in London. And,
it's about looking at the data and the stats.
Okay, so there's a guy who aspires to be a fighter pilot, right? But he has this one issue. His thumb is stuck pointing straight up.
Influencers are doing the exact same with the exception of exactly the bloggers. And look at what they've managed to accomplish.
Welcome back, guys. It's Rab is back
Welcome
at the
back.
table.
Welcome back. Yeah, Robert is sat down. Rab's there. Patrick's just standing, chatting away. We've just taken we've just got the blue 25k chip off the table as well. So we've just got the 100ks and the 500ks left now. So we can get this speeding along quite nicely. To be fair, a lot of the players and staff are either enjoying the party or wanting to enjoy the party at the end of Goliath. So seniors event still going on, but I think that is pretty much it now. It's just us and the seniors final table happening. So we're heads up in this now. So
yeah, just a huge amount of goodwill for Glenn and his efforts in securing the bronze tonight. Leigh, fair play to him. Good news indeed. Harry just asked us detail of the team event, please, chaps. So look out for that. I think it will be in January of this year. We haven't announced APAT's next season yet, but it's a huge sellout. That event has been selling out for 14, 15 years now. Details will be within the APAT Facebook group in the not too distant future. So do sign up there, Harry. And Kevin said WLPL is the West Lothian Poker League. Pretty big deal up there, Leigh. Fair play. And a good luck to Rab in his heads-up battle here.
So first hand of this heads up, and Patrick makes it the small blind, and Rab says I'll make it 1.5 million more, and Patrick folds.
Okay, blinds are 2-5.
Tom wants to go home. He's just said blinds are up, guys. It's 200,000, 500,000. And next hand
5 minute clock.
300,000, 600,000.
5 minute clock.
Definitely wants to get this over with. Tom, can I swap seats with you? And I'll come this side because then I can get a better view of the guys down the table. We'll go with that. That'll be
Look
nice.
at that. You've got the dealer, you've got the flop, you've got it all there, Leigh.
There we go. We can get that in better from this angle. That's better. Miss our banners, but it's a better shot on the players. So
is that Paul Turnstile there? I think it is.
Where's that?
He just gone out of picture. Black leather jacket.
Oh, might well be.
Yeah.
Might well be.
Chelsea fan, big Chelsea fan. Loves his horse racing.
So we're going to see a flop here. 7-9 king with a couple of diamonds on the board, and bet from Patrick, and it's a fold from Rab, and on we'll go. So these guys now locked up £4,500, but it's 7,500 up top. So that's what the difference they're playing for now. And of course, the colour of the medal.
Rab is stacking in 20s now. Rab is stacking in 20s now, Leigh. It looks to me.
It's got big. It's got serious. It has got serious. Yeah, that is the case. He's got So yeah, so those they're 100k stacks. The orange ones there. On the one side, he's got.
What is that? 2 million apiece.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if they are 20s, to be honest, Des.
Hard to tell with the
they look shy. They look light to be 20s, if you ask me. Not much light, but they're about 2 or 3 chips light, I think, 20.
Scott Orr says, take it down, Rab. Let's go.
6-5-10 is the flop. It's gone check. So we're going to see a 4 on the turn. It's a bet of $1 million from Patrick, which is very quickly being called by Rab. So we're going to see a river card here, and it is going to be the 9 of clubs. That's the board. 3 clubs on the board now. So the orange chips are 100k, the black chips are 500k. 46 million in chips in play in total. It's 4.5 million in the middle already. And you can see Rav working out, right, how much you're going to make this bet if I'm going to make a bet. And he makes it 6 million. 6 million is the bet, which is about half. That's about half is what he's playing. Patrick says, to be honest, I can't fold, so he's making the call. And
3 4s.
Rab's got five deuce, and I mean, when Patrick says I can't fold with the pocket fours,
I said trips.
and a set of four. No. I was just saying what you were holding. Yeah. Patrick's just making a point of no. It was a set. It definitely was. It was definitely a set. It very much was a set, and that massively swings this heads up. It was already in Patrick's favour in the first place, but now it is hugely. As I say, I don't think they're quite in 20s, but I reckon Rab's is playing about 5 mil, maybe 5 million, maybe 6 million. So yeah, 40 million plays about 6 million, I think is where we're at now. Rab says he missed his flush. Very unfortunate for him there. And on we go. This next couple of hands here, Des, this is going to be critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, blinds at 200,000, 500,000 with a big blind ante of 500,000. Rab folds that one. So
Patrick stacked there, Leigh. Each orange stack worth about 2 million. The black stacks worth about 10 million apiece. So we could see 30 million, nearly 40 million stacked up there with the chips on the side that he's riffling.
Yeah, which is roughly where I said we were. So already absolutely. Now, we say already now, Rab's putting $1 million. Rab's got $1 million of his 6 million in the middle here because he's posting the big blind and the big blind ante as well. So he's had to put $1 million in here.
Well, he knows.
Only had to put 200,000 in this hand. So
he knows where he is, Leigh. He knows where he is. So
let's see whether this is the one.
Belt in, folks. We're going to see some action here of that. There's almost certainly no doubt.
Patrick shows us deuce 4, and let me show you what Rab got to walk with effectively. Yeah.
Right. Unlucky,
it's
sir.
what you want to see. It's what I mean. The dealer can't do any more for you, really. Well, yeah. And to be honest, you nearly with a 2-4, you nearly thought I might just have a look here. Yeah. So final table being played in good spirits. Heads up being played in good spirits as well. Rab's got a rail here. Can he make the comeback? The comeback king. Can he do it? He's got the kit. He's had the kings. So next hand, action on Rab at the small blind. And he makes the call. Patrick says them all in.
I think he's going to get a call. I mean, what's Rab calling with?
Rab says it's 10-8 any good. I fold.
10-8, so, really? Wow.
Yeah. So it's you have a few of these, Des, and unfortunately, Rab's stack gets to a point where you're not even looking really.
Well, the question is, would you rather double 5 million or 2 million? Leigh, the big news over the last couple of days, our own Tom Brady investing in football, taking a piece of Birmingham City. I don't know if you saw that.
I spoke to him about it earlier on, and he said you wouldn't believe the number of messages he's had.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
it's the sadness of Trevor Francis's passing has just exploded him into action.
Absolutely. So raise from Patrick to $1 million, and it's been called by Rab. So we're going to see a flop. Still playing some poker here, Des.
Fair play. I mean, that's awesome that he still, wants to play as opposed to putting it all in there.
So deuce 5 ace. It's gone check. And we see a queen on the turn. Rab says I'm all in. Patrick says I would have called you pre, but he says I'm not calling now. It's going to fold.
So I think Leigh behind.
And it was and Rab shows shows a straight 4-3, 4-3 of diamonds. Yeah, so flopped the straight and then actually got himself a flush draw as well. Yeah.
Not his night, Leigh.
Yeah.
Not his night.
Yeah, Patrick's spidey senses were saying, I'm not getting involved here. Yeah.
So I think Scott is saying his rail is Clem. So Rab's brother, Clem, I think stood behind him there. 2 WLPT West Lothian legends.
Awesome. Oh, well, it was Clem that helped me out with the payouts earlier on his phone. So, yeah, that's very much likely to be the case. He's giving away now. So there we go. There we go. There we go. If you had to watch this back, Rabbi says to know he's got a very impressive virtual rail. Says them all in. Decision on Patrick. And Patrick folds. So Rab just clawing a few back here now. So he's up to probably about 7.5 million, I reckon.
We had a super trip up to Edinburgh earlier on this year, Leigh, with the Scottish Amateur Championship. Back again next season. Of course, we go to Scotland every single year. But another great tournament up there.
Yeah, really good. We always pack it out up in Edinburgh and play a day 1A on the Friday night, day 1B on the Saturday. Then players come back on a Sunday, plus side events. Got a PLO side event in there as well this year, and it was great. And so what was that? That was a raise for Patrick again, and perhaps I'm all in. Patrick folds. So he is clawing back the chip. That puts him up now on. If they are stacked right, I think it's about 9.
That's 8, 9, yeah.
9, yeah, with no, it's about 9 million now, I think. Is the comeback on? That's the question.
Well, I tell you what, Leigh, even I know enough not to question a West Lothian man's stack. Just watch your back tonight in the car park.
Oh, luckily I don't need to go to the car park tonight. Straight into the hotel for a good night's sleep. Yeah. Rab says I'm all in. Again, decision on Patrick. Doesn't fancy it.
So, Leigh, what's in the pot every hand? What are the blinds?
So we're playing blinds. We're playing blinds at 200,000, 500,000 with a big blind down to your 500,000. There's 1.2 million in the middle each
every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're shoving from your small, well, if you're shoving from the small blind, you're basically grabbing 1 million chips.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it. So yeah, you're basically adding 1 million to your stack if you're making that shove and getting it through. Yeah.
And I tell you what, Leigh, if you can get your what was 5 million up to 10, 15 million, then basically you're back in this game.
Yeah, and what's happened to it is actually Patrick's also not really played his small blind much recently, and this time he says I'm all in for my small blind, and he gets that one through.
Yeah,
so this is going to just be a case of waiting for 2 half reasonable hands to decide they're going to call, and we'll see this.
Is Joe selling stuff in the background there, Leigh? Are these shells or of some sort? I mean, is he going door to door? Is this the rebuy period?
Yeah. Do you want in?
I'm in, Leigh. How much?
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Joe wants to slow the game down by taking antes away. I didn't say anything because it was speeding the game up. They seemed to be enjoying it, so I left it to it. All in and a call, and it's Ace King for Rab, and it's King 5 for Patrick. That's Ace King that's at risk.
Wow.
Nine, Jack, 8, 10.
To 5 and a 5 only.
And another king, and it's going to be a double up for Rab.
That is
Going to get a
interesting.
double up.
Who got them in first there, Lee? Patrick?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, Rab has shown some fantastic hands over the last hour or so.
So we're now getting Rab stack actually into 20s, so we might find out what he's really got now. Because they weren't in 20s before, so I knew that they were about 3 or 4 light.
Detail.
So we'll now work out what the count is, the actual count is. 8.1 million.
Oh,
is the count.
he's up to 16 million of 46. Yep. So 30 against 16.
So it's now 16 plays 30. It's now 2-1 chip lead.
One double up. It's completely reversed.
Yeah. I don't think they'll stop playing pretty, the way they are. But
sure,
just going to carry on. Oh, actually, to be honest, it was an all-in from Rab, and Patrick made the call with the King 5.
Oh, that is interesting.
So on we go. So they've agreed they're just going to drop the antes now. So
fair enough. Speed up the game. Ask them, are they willing to increase the blinds?
Well, the blinds will be going up in another 3 minutes and 45 seconds because we're on the 20-minute clock now. Now once we got down to 3-handed, so it is going to go again.
So in theory, Lee, when we said Rab had 5 million, 5 to 6 million, he had less.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They will have a bit less, but he got it up to 8 million. So which is what we said he was doing.
Yeah,
so,
and we need to bear in mind he's still well behind here, but he's just brought himself back in to having a shot.
And very much as the board here is 10-8 Jack. They bet it's 600,000, which has got called, and there's a queen on the turn. It's gone check, and there's an ace on the river. So that's what the board now looks like. Rab bets $1 million. And Patrick's counting out a load of black chips here. And he raises it up and to 4 million. So that's the board. 10-8 Jack, Queen, Ace.
So it's all about the 9,
it's called by Rab. And they both got, what have they got? No, so it's so King 8 for Broadway, and Rab had 9 deuce. He had the bottom end of the
lower
straight.
end of it.
Yeah. So
unlucky.
Gives back a chunk of those chips.
It's a brave call.
Yeah, it was. Very brave call.
So fantastic. 4.5K for the runner up here, 7.5 for the winner. On top of the medals.
And of course, your APAT Open Amateur Champion for 2023.
Yeah. Very nice.
So make it the blinds here, and we're going to see a flop here, which is going to be 10-9-8 with a couple of hearts out there, and 500,000 is the bet from Patrick, which is raised to $1 million by Rab. Patrick makes the call. 10 of clubs. It gets a check from Patrick. 1.5 million is the bet from Rab. And Patrick folds, and Rab says, I flopped the straight. Didn't show, but he did say that's what he did.
Gets a bunch back.
So Rab's playing about 12 million now, Doug. And the blinds are going to be up next hand to 300,000, 600,000. Patrick raises up to 1.2 million. Which gets called by Rab. So we'll see another flop, which we're seeing plenty of.
Yeah, I mean, the poker's been good. Heads up.
Yeah, Deuce 7-7 is the board.
Plenty of raises,
And,
re-raises.
1.1 million from Patrick. And Rab folds.
Leigh, I seen this new thing on the telly. You always seem to have seen what I've seen. So have you seen the detectorists yet?
Sorry, the detectorists.
Detectorists.
Is it something new, or this has been about for a while? Yeah.
I think there's a second season, so I assume it's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been about for a long while. Yeah.
Has it? I have no idea.
Yeah.
The first time I heard of it, the first time I saw it.
Are we talking the thing with Mackenzie Crook? Yeah.
That's the one. Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah. It's been about been about for first series must have been a good 4 or 5 years ago.
You're
like
kidding me, really?
At least. Yeah.
They must have killed it after season 2 then. Hadn't
not sure,
ever
but
heard of it.
yeah. No, yeah, it's been doing the rounds. Where have you come across it?
I saw it on Sky. I want to say I saw it on Sky. Maybe they chose to promote it fairly recently. It popped up in my feed.
I don't know why I thought it was on BBC originally.
It might have been it might have been a BBC iPlayer show promoted on Sky. But just really enjoyed it. Just super soft, easy to watch, good acting.
All in the call. It's pocket deuces for Patrick. It's king 9 for Rab. It's the king 9 that's going to be at risk here.
This is huge.
It's on a flip. 8, 6, ace. Brings another diamond.
King 9 or a diamond.
And a final diamond. 9 of diamonds for Rab. Runner diamond.
Wowzers.
And it's going to be a double up for Rab.
That has got to
Runner diamonds. $11.1 million is the count for Rab.
Crikey's up to 22. They've got parity. Near as damn it.
Yeah.
How do you feel? It's difficult, Leigh, because you're sat right on top of the two players. So certain things you can say, certain things you can't say, right? And you shouldn't say. But those deuces that, well, I mean, crikey was so close to winning it there, right? But
yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all.
You're comfortable with that?
Yeah, perfectly too.
Oh,
if you take a flip to try and win it, you're not out of the tournament. To try and win it, and got very close to doing it. So and now they're fairly even stacks, but that's not to say they won't just do exactly the same thing again.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, the mindset, if you're Patrick, this is going to be very frustrating, right? Because you felt like you had this tournament won an hour ago, and now you are flipping. and you can't for a
Absolutely.
minute think you have any advantage because Rab's pretty much dominated heads up. This has got to be frustrating. It'll be a challenge for him to find momentum on the back
when
of
you
this.
say dominated, when you say dominated just in the fact that the cards have gone for him.
Sure, but that's
he's been
momentum
able
thing.
to do that. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
a lot of heads up
absolutely.
is confidence, right? You know, you're happy to pick your moments and stuff like that. And you know, if you've had a difficult first hour of heads up, it can sort of impact your
big raise pre from Rab. Patrick said how much, and then quickly folded. So Patrick makes it the small blind, and Rab decides to check his option. And so we're going to see flop, which is 6-4-10. And 700,000 bet from Patrick, quickly called by Rab. 7 on the turn. He makes it 1.8 million this time, which is again called pretty quickly by Rab. So we're going to see a river card here, which is the Ace of Spades.
Patrick wants to bet here. It's chunky.
That's going to be
Close to 10 million.
10.3 million, I think. Yeah.
Takes it. Wow,
And
chunky.
takes it down. Yeah.
Leigh just taking a 1 minute restroom break on my end.
Yeah, no worries. So on we go. Rab out of the small blind this time. Makes it 1.3 million. And that's enough for Patrick to fold. Your rails all online. Yeah. So raising Patrick, called by Rab. You're going to see a flop. It's 7 King 9. Bets out 1.4 million. It's called by Rab. 6 on the turn. Check. Ace on the river. 2 million is the bet from Rab. And that gets through.
Takes it down. The United have got their young striker, Leigh.
Yeah, superb. Really pleased about that.
Yeah, what do you think will he bring? I mean, will he get into the first team early?
No, he won't get into the first team because he's injured.
Oh, is he?
He's out. He's out for the first couple of weeks. He picked up an injury in pre-season with Atalanta, so he's out for a couple of weeks, which I don't think is a bad thing because
no.
Because we'll get on with what we're doing for the first few weeks of the season. But I'd be surprised if he's not integrated in and certainly playing quite a few minutes early on. I guess the idea is if they can then keep Martial fit, if he doesn't leave the club, then we've got good squad rotation there with Rashford up front as well. So yeah, it's all very positive. He's not a finished article whatsoever, and people have said about the price, but you look at some of the prices, some of the things that other players have gone for in the last week or even and actually I don't think it's that far off a decent money. So we will see what happens with it.
Yeah, no, it should be interesting.
Yeah, so Patrick makes it a small blind here. Rab checks the big, so we're going to see another flop, which is deuce, queen, queen. It goes check, check, so we're going to see a 4. Goes check, check, so we're going to see a 7. Rab checks, and 600,000 is the bet. Very quickly called by Rab. It's 9-5 for Patrick, and it's 9 deuce for Rab, and he made the call there, but he'd already hit the deuce and thought, I'll just make the call that, and it was good enough.
Leigh, and I can see the sort of rugby union internationals beginning to kick off now as we lead into the World Cup. Just over a month away.
Yeah, it's just the warm-up. I don't take the results too seriously in the warm-ups. Wales got a result against England and kind of dominated the second half. It was quite bizarre, really. But it's early on. The groups. Funny, I was chatting to Mark Lasman about this earlier on. The groups are slightly swayed, really weirdly, with the top-ranked teams in the world all being in the first, I think, Group A and Group B in the World Cup. So potentially they can't all make it through. So it's going to be it's going to be fascinating how it plays out. Looking forward to it. It's always a good tournament.
Ireland and Scotland in with the All Blacks. I mean, that is a group of death. Here
and then
we
the
go.
call. It's ace 10 for Rab. It's pocket queens for Patrick. Stack-wise, there's not a huge amount in it. We'll have to do a count here. So when it's done, ace 5 queen, and other than that, an ace would save it. And there's going to be queen to the 5. We're gonna just do it. How much you think how much have you got, Patrick? You We're just going to double check it to be sure, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just a couple of hands colliding there.
Patrick said, either way, I'm going to be happy with that. But we're just going to do a count to be certain where we are. We think that's the case. Well, in which case, there's 46 in play. So 23-6 is the count for Rab. So we're going to have to count up.
You're kidding. Wow. Might be left with a bowl. So sorry about this, guys. Obviously, we've lost our connection to Coventry at a very bad time. Looks like Rab might be left with a equivalent of a single big blind, or perhaps not. We'll try and get Leigh back as soon as we possibly can. But obviously, a huge hand that for Patrick. His queens ultimately full housing up and taking a key hand in this tournament. So here we go, guys. Leigh's just reconnected.
Yeah, sorry, we're at that time of the where we hit that 4 hour thing, isn't it? So it's going to be all in the call, and it's going to be ace 8 for Patrick against queen 8 for Rab. Queen 8 at risk, obviously, with what he's got left there. Ace on the flop is pretty much going to do for it, and it does, and that is going to be that. And
Wow.
we have our winner. Patrick is our Open champion. Very well done to him. He's going to finish on the Rab's picking up £4,500.
Well,
Yeah, and it's going to be a superb result for Patrick. We're just going to get a photo done and get all organised there. But what a result, eh? What a great match that was. Des, enjoyed that.
yeah, fantastic tournament, Leigh. Huge numbers in Coventry. Played in a great spirit, and obviously, fabulous heads up. Really enjoyed watching that. It was all action, and we just saw two huge hands collide. Rab had done superbly well to come back from, being terribly short at the final. No fault of anyone's really as to how we've reached the final result here, but it was great to watch.
No, absolutely super performance. Very well done to both those players. Because I'm on a different microphone here, I'm not going to be able to grab an interview with the guys. Unfortunately, it's not going to really work for us here. So I think probably the best thing to do is, whilst we're sorting out winners' photos, Rab's getting his silver medal there. Very well done to him. And we'll get organised for a photo for Patrick for our winner. That's pretty much going to be it from Coventry. What a fantastic weekend we've had here. 460 runners. And we end up with one Open champion winner, who is Patrick, who is over there. So very well done to him. Yeah, that's us from Coventry. Des, we'll be back for the APAT show next Sunday, and obviously coming up with our Worlds only starting in 2 weeks' time, live at Dust Dawn for 6 days. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Leigh, for taking us through all of the action over the last 4 hours. Big well done to Patrick, Rab, and everybody else who final tabled. Thanks to you guys for joining us through tonight, and we will see you next weekend and for the World Championship of Amateur Poker. So with that, we leave you from Coventry, and enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks, guys.